I usually come on here and I start this show off every single time with a message of positivity, and I'm trying to open it up. And I'm going to do much of the same today, but I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to do it because I was watching one of my favorite movies of all times. One of those movies that you don't quite know would be so great until it's great. And I'm talking about the movie Up. There's a quote in there that says, "Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory." I don't think y'all know this. I don't think y'all are aware of this. But there are some people out there right now who are cherishing the moments that they have with you. There's some people out there right now who are excited to hear your voice, to hear your laughter. And whether you think that moment is small or minute or insignificant, you would never know how much value that moment is to the memories of those people. We love you. We don't want to let you go. And we know that times are not always going to be perfect. They're not going to always be clear and open to what needs to be open for you to have a moment of peace. But what we do know is that we're here for you. We know that we're willing to fight with you every step of the way. We know that every day that you're smiling, behind that smile lies a little child or maybe a grown adult who simply just wish that they can be seen or heard. I'm here to tell you that we see you. And every time you do some small thing that creates a moment that becomes a memory for us, we appreciate you more. So if you're thinking of harming yourself, if you're thinking of harming someone else, before you make that decision, do something that we can all live with and go get help. Reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255 and go get help. And if for some reason you just don't feel comfortable, you're just not quite there yet, you don't know where to go, you need to start. You want to talk to somebody, but you want to talk to somebody that you feel will be open to your issues and your moments, then reach out to me. Reach out to me at any of my social media feeds. I need a simple message of we need to talk. I will make myself available, as I have done often, over and over again. I am not special. I am nothing different from you. You'll be surprised how much we have in common. So before you make a decision, before you go down that road, try this one first and live for us. What's going on, Pride Nation, and welcome back to another Field Review podcast show where we talk all things Detroit Lions. Listen, people, I am in like a really good mood. I really didn't want to talk football today. I'm going to be honest with you, but I'm in a good mood. And the reason I didn't want to talk football is because I have literally been beaten across the head with certain topics, and I'm just tired. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm probably not going to talk about the second overall pick. Don't care. I don't. I'm just going to tell you this. I think and I believe that the Lions will select Kyle Hamilton at 2 if they are still there. I also think that there's the most realistic trading partner that they have entered the fray was the Seattle Seahawks, and it's going to get even more heated up given the news that happened today. But before we get into that, I wanted to be clear. I hope this team gets whoever you want at 2. And I hope you don't change your name or your picture or your profile when they get them and they don't work out. Because too often I have noticed that there's some people who have been changing their names after they got players that they beat the table for. So we're going to put it out there. All right. And if you're not paying attention, I have a guest. My man Risky is in the building. Risky was joining us today. What up, though, Risk?
Hey, what's up, man? It's good to be here.
Hey, it's been a long time since you've been rocking on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've been hiding in the midst of the people. I haven't seen you in a while.
Right. Yeah, it's been a while. I've just been tuning in every once in a while. I just decided to come on the show.
All right, let's see who's in the building with us. We got JGB, we got Looney Tune, we got John Bradshaw, we got Gold Lions in the building, we got Midwest Lion in the building, we got my man Tim Hutchinson in the building, we got Lions Rumble 81, who I'm hoping it's got a little bit of time to jump in and get with the people. If you do, let me know. I'll shoot you the link, brother. You know how it works. We got Greg Peoples in the building. He says, what up, Luke? What up, Doe? We have my man Adam Bucart in the building. Vash Starwin is in the building. John Jones, Chopper Trav. That's a hell of a name. I like that. Chopper Trav. I might have to steal that. Chopper Luke. No, it ain't flowing the same. All right, my bad. No disrespect. We're going to keep it Chopper Trav. That one sounds better than mine. Then we got my man Mars' Moon. Says the Martians have arrived to listen. We got my man Marcus Willis in the building. Let me see who else. I ain't forgetting nobody. One Funky Lions fan. My man Lions Talk with Micro Mike in the building. William Birch is in the building. Friendly neighborhood Lions fan. D-Map Zoom. Marcel Edwards. Free 313. That dude live. Ghost Gunners in the building. Let me see. Make sure I ain't missing nobody. Craig Bevins is in the building. All right, make sure I ain't got. Okay, I got everybody. First thing first, if you have not heard, there's been another trade, and not exactly one that the Lions have made, but one that I think is significant to the Lions. Stay with me. The Atlanta Falcons have traded, which I'm mind blown by this. They managed to trade Matt Ryan to the Colts in exchange for a third-round pick. Like, people still want Matt Ryan. I'm shocked. So shocked. However, this is great news for the Lions and the Lions fan base. Why, Luke? Are you going to tell me that that it's going to create more trade partners? Absolutely, I am. And the proof is in the pudding. Let's just say with this move, and we all know that the Falcons brought in Marcus Mariota. But let's be honest. Marcus Mariota has been brought in before to be a bridge quarterback. And I'm just saying, now you're going to have people trying to get ahead of the Falcons. So look at the teams who really might want a quarterback and ask yourself, with the Falcons now entering the fray for a quarterback, it opens up more trade options for the Lions. It sets them up in a position. Boy, every now and then something catches my attention to throw me off. Chopper Luke sounds like a stalker serial killer. It did sound bad. That's why I didn't like it. I backed up out of it. Don't judge. But now you've got more trade partners. Risky. What do you think about this? Do you think that the trade that the Falcons made have nothing to do with the Lions, or do you think that this now provides more clarity and more opportunity for the Lions to have trade partners to get out of that second pick?
Well, what I think with it is that the Falcons obviously want a new quarterback. But I don't really see it as that much of an opportunity for the Lions. I mean, I think someone could trade up. I don't think it's to the number 2 pick. I think they'd probably trade up with the Texans or maybe the Giants. I mean, there's a lot of teams in the top 10 now that need a quarterback. You know, the Giants, the Panthers, the Falcons, the Seahawks. But there's also a good amount of quarterbacks this year. I think the Malik Willis actually ranks with the Sam Howells, the Kenny Pickett's, the Matt Corral, even though I'm not really a big fan of him. But I don't know. I just don't really see any team being that aggressive after their quarterback this year. I think next year's quarterback class with the Bryce Youngs, the C.J. Stroud, I think that's a lot more, people might want those two quarterbacks more than these quarterbacks.
See, I'm looking at it like this, right? Clearly, think about this. You have Matt Ryan. You decide that I don't want him no more. You're picking 3rd overall. And you know that there's other teams seeking a quarterback. Now, how many great quarterbacks do you think is in this draft? Or whether it's one quarterback or 2 quarterbacks or whatever you think it is, I think most people would assume that there's between 2 to 3 quarterbacks. And depending on who you like more, you may feel comfortable with it. Now, I personally think those guys who are underrated, that's not being rated high, will probably end up panning out better, but who in the hell knows, right? No. However, I also think that the Lions' opportunities are growing by the minute, and that's what we're going to jump into when talking about this. If the Lions were to find a trade partner and say the Jets, I can assure you probably still getting Kyle Hamilton at 5, but I know somebody's not going to be happy about it. Again, I said I'm not talking about pick number 2. I want to be clear about this. Risky people will say, you say you're not. Pick number 2. We at 5 now. And if we somehow end up getting the Giants pick, which I think is what, 6 or something like that, or you know, I think you can still find yourself in there. But to me, it's going to boil down to how bad do they want certain players. The Jets aren't searching for a quarterback, right? So we know that the Seahawks are searching for a quarterback. We know that the Falcons are searching for a quarterback. And now you can start to figure out these teams who may be willing to give a king's ransom to get that trade. I also think that the Lions are not trying to trade out of the top 10 of the draft. They want to stay within that realm. And to me, I think they can do that. But the other part of it is this. If they mess around, in my opinion, let's say they get any pick out of the top 10, where do you want them to go in terms of position-wise with that pick?
Well, in the middle of the first round, towards the end of the first round, there's a lot of good receivers and linebackers that are available. You know, you got Treylon Burks, Jameson Williams, Drake London, and Garrett Wilson, which I think undisputed the top 4 receivers in this draft. And then for linebackers, you obviously got Christian Harris, Nakobe Dean, Devin Lloyd, your guy Brandon Smith. I think are other good options. I'm sure I may be leaving someone out right now, but I think they want to go defense with the possibility of a receiver.
See, so let's just devil's advocate, risky. Let's say that the Lions end up going to say pick 5. What position are you going with?
Pick 5, I would probably go edge rusher. I'm a big George Karlaftis guy. Jermaine Johnson is, I think, a little underrated at this point, but I'd go edge right there. I think it's pretty heavy there. And
I like the George Karlaftis. I think he's the best defensive and edge rusher in my opinion in this draft. And people, go ahead.
Being honest, I keep going, but it's always between George Karlaftis, Aiden Hutchinson, and Kayvon Thibodeau. There's just so much that separates them, and I really just can't put one over the other.
See, I can't. I feel like with George, I get more pass rush moves. With George, I get more consistent of a player, and I know he's probably not as polished as people would like to try to act. However, he's more versatile. I can stand him up in the 2 and get power. I can leave him with his hand in the dirt and get power. I can move him to the inside and get movement. You got options with him. Now, somebody may say you can do the same thing with Kayvon. No, you can't. you can do the same thing with Hutchinson. No, you really can't. You put Hutchinson in the middle, you're gonna have a situation. Okay, so I think it's different. But if they are at 5, right, and you figure at that point that means that the Giants have traded up, and the Giants are selecting whoever they're going to take. I think the safety still stays in play at that point. If they mess around and they trade with Carolina and they end up being at 6, I think then the Giants fall in love with Kayvon Thibodeau, and the Lions still take a safety at that point. Now, if they mess around, huh?
Do you think the Jets wouldn't draft Kyle Hamilton? I've heard a lot of reports that they really, really, really like him.
See, I think I hear the rumors that they really like him and all that tough talk and stuff, but the truth is this.
Right.
If the Lions are trading down from that pick anyway, you're getting more draft capital, which means you're probably getting another opportunity to get more starters on this field. And if you're doing that and you miss out on them, cool. But I think the Jets won't do it. I know they fans called in and preached to the head coach about it, that they don't want a safety, which for them, they've had Jamal Adams and he left. So they pissed. And they don't boycott safeties. But if the Lions mess around and they say they fall to, I don't know, 8. Let's say the Falcons decide we're going to go up to 2 and the Lions go down to 8. Yeah, I think George Karlaftis is the pick. I think he has to be the pick in my opinion. I don't know how else you can do it. Like, could you who else could they make the pick? You know what I mean? Like you're not, if you're taking a linebacker at 8,
it's a reach with any of them.
Like none of them stand out enough to get my blood boiling to be like, yeah, I want that guy.
But here's the problem I often run into is what happens if George Karlaftis and all those other edge rushers aren't there at 8. I actually have George Karlaftis, Kayvon, and Aiden in my top 7. So if they're not there, then I think you pretty much run into a problem because you want to get a signature player in this draft because I think next year you're going quarterback. So this is the time to really go best player available.
See, and to me, I look at it like this. He said, can we get one trade back before my kids become a dog? What number do you see George going at? I see George going as high as
3,
8,
I'd say
10, but as low as somewhere between the teams. It's a few teams that want him.
Would you take Kyle Hamilton at 2 and then trade up for George Karlaftis if he falls to the teens?
So let's say, for example, right, if the Lions did this, let's say the Lions, like we obviously looking at the draft order on the screen or whatever, but let's say the Lions mess around, they get this, right? So they got picked 5 and 7. Hypothetically, let's say the Giants just falling so in love, they feel like Aiden Hutchinson is going to be the next Michael Strahan. Or let's say they feel like Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be the next Michael Strahan. Whoever the person that they want is going to be the next whatever, right? And the Lions get 5 and 7. If they took a safety here, then took George at 7, I wouldn't give a shit. I really wouldn't. Because to me, at that point, I know I got 2 starters, right? I know I got 2 starters right there. And then at some point, when we get down here to what is that, 32, I got another starter coming. That still gives me 3 starters. But if the Lions mess around and let's say they trade down to 8, because people in this town think draft position is a real thing and it really freaking matters. Like that don't really matters. Is even though I never hear anybody talk about draft position when it's Tom Brady. It's just, oh, how could we have gotten it so wrong? That crap. I never hear that draft position talk, whatever. But to me, if we fall to say like in the top 10 to where 8 or 9, and they took, say, George Karlaftis that high, then at that point, you really are putting yourself in a bind at 32 to take a position like safety or linebacker to complement that. But I just think that I just think it depends on where they land. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's kind of the fear I have is that if they Lions to end up taking an edge rusher within, and not Kyle Hamilton in the top 10, then you really have to be praying that Jaquan Brisker is there at 32 because the other safeties I'm not really into. I do like Dax Hill's potential though. He has really good movement and can pretty much play any position in the secondary. So
now listen, let me hold on. Let me go back. Karlaftis smokes his own. Wait a minute. People eat elks? Wait a minute. People eat that? I thought. Don't even get me started. I thought elks wasn't edible. I'm not gonna lie. I don't hunt, so this is fairly freaking new. But okay, what the hell does smoked elk taste like? If you're a hunter in here, or you grew up hunting, is an elk still a deer? I mean, what the hell is it?
I'm so confused. Naruto stuff.
Elk is good as hell. What am I missing? I swear, y'all, this is gonna sound nuts. I thought those was like protected animals, like they just was enchanting or something. I didn't know you out here smoking elks. Like what the? I'm gonna leave it alone. I was confused. They laughing at me. I'm dead ass serious. I was confused. I'm like, wait a minute, people eat elks? Didn't know this, bro. I did not. It's super lean. Oh my god, I'm scared to try. So I hate deer. I've tried deer, and I didn't like it. Elk burger? My man said he had an elk burger. Where do you find an elk burger at? Elk tastes good. I had an elk burger in Colorado. Bruh. I tried bison. I was like, nope, the devil's a liar. I can't do it. That didn't sit well with me. But you can smoke all kinds of things. Elk is lean like deer. Oh, then I probably wouldn't like it then. I didn't like deer. Me and deer didn't get along. Rabbit, tear that thing up. Deer, he can live his long life. Bambi mama ain't got to worry about me. He good. All right. But elk freaking burger. I don't know, Risky. You ever had an elk burger?
I can't say that I have.
I mean, you just pull up to the store. Let me get an elk burger. I don't even know how that worked. I mean, right. I had a Slim Jim the other day. Yeah, something like that. All right, but here's my point. Whatever the Lions do with the move, whether it be stay at 2 or trade out of it, it will dictate the next 3 picks.
Right, yeah, of course.
Luke like squirrel. Oh, hell no. What? You can't eat squirrel. Who told you that? That ain't nothing but a tree rat. You can't eat that.
It's only an Amish country.
What is going on out here in these streets, man, bruh? What do you mean you squirrel? Like, nah, ain't no. First of all, after catch up, but the squirrel part. Let's go back to that. I can't. No, ain't no way in hell. If you out here eating squirrel, please let me know. I need to know what the hell does tree rat taste like. What does tree rat taste like? Grass fed and lean meat is the best. All right, jerky. I like turkey jerky. You know. Hatterhouse said, as a rabbit owner, my bad. My grandfather hunts rabbits. I'm sorry. As a rabbit owner, you are now all banned from eating rabbits. I take it. I'm not even mad at you. People do eat squirrels. Man, you bullying. Stop playing with me. Craig, stop playing. Squirrels. The things that just run up on the tree that stop it. Squirrels. The dogs chasing. You people eating squirrels, bro? Oh my God. You heard it. Why everybody always want to claim everything in the wild tastes like chicken? You ever notice that, Risky? Everything in the wild tastes like chicken. You be like, hey man, you ate crickets? Nah, it tastes like chicken. Like, where the hell did you get that comparison? You can eat squirrel. Nah, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God. I want to puke. There's no way in hell you should be eating no squirrel. Oh my God. A squirrel is a tree rat. They will eat any damn thing. Possum. But you know what? Yeah, make sure y'all don't invite me to no dinners. What? Possum? Oh, let me get it. It played dead and you cook it? What the? Oh my God, Jesus. Oh my God, y'all killing me right now. Oh my God. Squirrel and rabbits, pulled pork style is fight. What? Y'all don't put. Oh my God. Bear? Did you say turtle was nasty? Tried that. Caribou? Oh my. Yeah. It's risky. Do you see this?
Yeah, I see. I think they're just having a little fun right now.
Bruh, wait. Why does Joey know so much about the goddamn squirrel? Yeah, man, squirrels is fatty though. The squirrel is fatty? The tree rat. Okay. All right. I can't with y'all. Let me get back. I can't. Oh my God. I can't. Listen. I even got my man Dahar coming in here like, what we talking about? I was merely chilling. And somebody said something about getting some good elk. And I said, elk? Wait a minute. You can't cook elk? Like, what the hell? And it just went south. I don't heard people eating elks, squirrel, possums. I mean, chipmunks apparently ain't that bad. I mean, dude, we out cold. All right. So listen. Let me get back to the draft. I've had crickets, no joke. I've had those too. I've tried them with the barbecue style, and I was like, nah. It's just, I think maybe because I knew what it was. Possum is a southern thing, I believe. Man, what the bruh. Raccoon? Y'all just murking all the rodents. I see what's going on around here. You see this?
Yeah, man.
They murking all.
Gotta get you that raccoon deluxe right there.
Yeah, if it's a rodent, they murking all of them. Mm-hmm. All of them.
It's just the Subway's menu right here.
Ever had gator meat? I have. I hated it. It was greasy. I didn't like it. It was greasy. Mike. Now you know damn well Mike. I mean, some of y'all aren't allowed in the zoo, right, bro? What the? Luke, you went to college in Bama and you ain't never heard of nobody eating no squirrel or pop. Man, hell no, ain't no, man. We had soul food, catfish, grits with cheese in it. You know, man, we ain't had no squirrel and possum. Bruh, no, bruh. No. I've tried snake. No. All right, let me get back. I'm getting back. Y'all threw me off for a minute. Oh my God. Y'all Oregon Trail living. That game was dope. He said, "Oh, y'all on this Oregon Trail living. What the hell is going on?" Oh my God. All right, let me get back into it. So obviously we're talking about the picks, and then there's other news that came out that I think is going to lead us into a different direction in picks 32 and 34, Risky. And that is the news that the Detroit Lions have brought in edge rushers / DN / in my opinion, a hot mess bust that I told the Lion fan base about a long time ago. I just don't see him as a player that should be drafted. I don't see him as this player that people was hyping up back in the day. And I was swiftly told, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And I'm talking about one Mr. Arden Keys. I tried to tell people that he was not going to be this stellar pass rusher and that I did not see enough on his film to make me want to take a guy like Keys. But they brought him in for a visit, and many people believe that if the Lions do sign him, that this points to the fact that the Lions are going to go quarterback with their first pick. What do you say to that?
I think if they do bring him in, it's just depth, but I think they are looking at some other rotational options for the defensive end position, which I think they assume is pretty weak. I also think he would also fit a pretty good need on the defensive line as they're switching to more of a four-man front. And I did sort of see him do some decent things for the 49ers this season. I definitely like a lot of the 49ers players, but I wouldn't hate it, but it's not something that I would be, obsessed with.
See, I look at it like this, bro. This is how I look at it. He doesn't bring anything to the table that will make me change my mind about our pick, other than they're trying to just add more depth and a person in to see if he can earn a spot.
Right. This offseason's all about adding depth and getting your starters to the draft. That's it.
Oregon Trail living. That means it was getting dysentery. Bro, that game was crazy. Johnny 2022 says, did the Lions sign Arden Key? No, they brought him in for a visit. I have not seen anything that said that he's been signed. If you out there and have seen something that said that he's been signed, let me know. But my view is this does not mean quarterback. It just seems like, to me, it means less likely chance of pass rusher. And if that is the case, that tells me that the pick is getting more and more stronger for another position, in which I'm not going to discuss, because that I'm not talking about the second overall pick. I can just tell you this. If you're adding Keys and Keys gets a nice deal, 1 year, some kind of chunk of change, or a 2-year deal, then chances is they're not taking the edge rusher at 32. They're not taking the edge rusher at 34.
Yeah.
They're probably taking a totally different position. And if that is happening, the question now bows on, what do you take with that first pick? Now, this is what y'all out here is this. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you something. This right here, I'm with my man Tactical Puma. Y'all can't even go to the zoo. This is ridiculous. Y'all, this is not normal. This is not how we get it done. My man JT still rooting for his man Jameson Winston. He said he got that 2-year deal as fire. I feel you. We're gonna see.
I'm not a big fan of him.
I'm not neither, but my man JT is, and I can't knock my man hustle. He do have his love for people, and I can't do it. Now, if the Lions do bring this guy in, like I said, they're probably not going to go edge rusher early on, so we can eliminate that out the door. But I also think we have to also look at the factors of what else is left to do. So at 32, I believe that the Lions sitting there at 32, if they do go quarterback with the first pick, I think at 32, they essentially have to go receiver. And that's sad for me, because now at this point at 34, you're probably going to take a linebacker or take the safety. And at that point, I'm probably disappointed in the draft because I don't see how those people help immediately. Maybe the receiver can, but the quarterback, I'm still trying to figure out how that makes sense for us. Now, if they then go say DN or edge rusher with the first pick, I think now at 32, you have to at least see that the chances for the pick to now be more defensive based is higher. Because now at that point, they already would have had Arden Keys. They would have added another pass rusher. You already got Austin Bryant. You got Julian, Romeo, Charles Harris. You got so many edge rushers at this point. I think now the pick becomes a dire need of linebacker. And at 34, I think it becomes safety. Now, if they decide to go safety with the first pick, then I think the second pick opens the door to best player available, because at that point, they're looking to see who can we add to give us true assistance. And in my opinion, that's coming down to, hate to say it, a edge rusher. So these picks do make a difference in terms of who's going first and who's going second. Now, one of the things that you talked about was the free agent part of it, Risky, where you talked about certain names that the Lions can still target that are still available that you did want, and some of the names that I wanted that are no longer available, but I really wanted them. I mean, I thought they could bring something to this team, but the Bears added one of them. Freaking Bears. Let's talk about that a little bit as we explore this. Who are some of the free agents that you was looking at and saying, God, the Lions should target and hopefully get?
A lot of them, actually. I had a pretty big list of them. Of course, Kaiser White is the guy. Kaiser White was another one of those guys that you had.
He was my top target.
Yeah,
I wanted him that bad because I wanted him to come in and really give us some help in the inside, and plus I know he has enough ability to coverage and stuff. So
I'm not certain that they're going to be going after maybe another. They may be adding another linebacker, but I'm not certain with it at this point. I wanted that Anthony Walker, the Browns linebacker.
He already signed.
Yeah, I know he was signed, but I have to look at my list a little bit more. I haven't really reviewed it ever since like the second week started.
Okay, William Burks, my co-host, the master of getting information to tell me I'm batshit crazy and wrong. He says, would you talk about the second pick if we trade down to 8? So if we trade down to 8, I do believe that they will then go with the George Karlaftis. I just think that would be the pick. And if they're taking George Karlaftis with that particular pick, I believe that the next pick, and this is going to probably blow some of y'all minds, but I believe that next pick will be a follow-up edge rusher. Why? Because George Karlaftis is not just an edge rusher. You can move him all around. He can do a number of different things. I think they would go back-to-back on the edge rushers and then come back with that second pick and go safety. That's how I think they would do it if they went to 8. They would go defense early on with the first 3 picks, and then with the 2/3, they would then add their quarterback and maybe another receiver. And then with those last picks in the rounds 5, 6, and 7, they'll add depth guys at positions based on best player available via the special teams help and helping the team. So I think that's how it would go if it went to 8. Any disagreements there, Risky? Risky, did I lose you? I done lost Risky, y'all. I guess things got too risky for him.
I'm here.
Oh, damn it. He killed my joke that quick. What's up?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I pretty much agree with that. Yeah.
He said, did bro just say bear burgers? Bro, listen, I ain't eating all that stuff. No. Gizzards? What the hell is a gizzard? I gotta Google that. What the hell is a gizzard? Oh my God, y'all this is what happens when you give people too much time. Oh, hell no. Why are y'all eating that? No. I don't care if that is chicken. It looks like, you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. This is a family show. Y'all, what y'all not gonna do is set me up, okay? And then Lions Rumble coming through. Rumble. Gizzards and chicken livers, bruh. I can't. JT Sports says wide receiver at 32. You can get a first round talent wide receiver in rounds 2 and 3. This receiving class is deep. Lions should go linebacker or cornerback, in my opinion, at 32. I can take that option too. If it was me doing the draft, it would be Kyle Hamilton. It would be Brandon Smith, and then I would come right back and would pick 34 and take Christian Harris. I would essentially fix my linebacking core, fix my secondary, and then with the third pick, I would take a receiver. And if somebody wanted a quarterback, I'd take a quarterback. I personally wouldn't touch a quarterback, but if they wanted it, I would. If they really, really wanted me, I would take my next 2 picks. I would go edge rusher, receiver, and then I would come back in those later rounds and sprinkle in some talent if I needed to, or trade up if I needed to. But I don't think you're crazy for wanting a cornerback. My problem is if you're taking a cornerback at 32, he needs to be on the field. And I don't have time for this growing pain crap. You need to be prepared and ready to rock and roll. So that's just how it is.
I wonder if they are kind of okay with the growing pains and all that, because I don't think they really expect to win this year. I don't think that's the expectation this year. I think they just want to get the players that are going to be on this team and are going to produce at a high level for the next decade or so.
I feel you. Joey 2 times says liver and onions. I feel like you got to be a vampire or unhuman to eat liver and onions. Like, it ain't nothing but a glob of blood. To this day, man, RIP to my pops, when he used to cook that crap, I just be thinking to myself, like, who pissed him off this week? Because I feel like that was a punishment meal. You know, I feel like if you wanted to punish your kids, you give them liver and onions. That is the most disgusting stuff I've ever had. And so does Don Burr, who doesn't agree with me much, but he says yuck. Yeah. Oh my God. My man JT said, I thought Miles Jack was going to go to Detroit, but he's coming to Pittsburgh instead. Extremely excited and shocked. Well, you know, we take the younger guy. That's okay. We take the younger guy. But I'll smash liver and onions. Where did I start? I didn't even start this. Why did y'all start? I didn't even start this. Y'all started this. Damn, Luke, you never had man. Now I ain't never had no damn gizzards. I don't even know until I just Google them, and it look like I don't want them. I guess it's weird. Like, you go into a store, you don't just be like, "Where's the gizzards? Let me find the gizzards. Gizzards, where you at?" I mean, I go in there where the wings, where the drumsticks, the thighs, the chicken breast. Hell, I even had chicken butt, smoked chicken butt. I've had that being down south. I ain't never had no damn gizzards. And before somebody make a weird joke, it ain't nothing but meat, okay? They just call it chicken butt. I don't know why. It's just chicken butt. I know you're probably thinking, Risky, what the hell is going on here? It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I did not start this.
All right, good.
Makai Holt, what do you think about Michael Clemens? You got to tell me school and jersey numbers. I have.
That's Texas A&M. I've actually watched it a little bit. He's got a lot of power, but he doesn't really have any pass rush moves. I consider him a good day 3 pick. I mean, he isn't that flexible, but I think he'd be decent for a 4-3.
What is it? So he's at Texas A&M. What is his jersey number?
I don't remember. It takes. I think it's. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't remember.
Texas A&M.
Michael Clemens. It's 2.
Number 2. Texas A&M. Number 2. Okay. It's starting to ring a bell. All right. 2 things with Michael Clemens. All right. First things first. 1, I love that he's willing to get in the mix of a play. I hate that he's always in the mix of a play. In other words, he gets washed out at times that makes me want to like puke. And a lot of times when you watch a player who's trying to defend the run, they spend so much time trying to avoid the blocker, whereas I would rather see them more so attack the blocker to force the running back to bounce it out. However, I forget who sent it to me first. Who did that sent it to me? Let me think about it. It'll come to me. One of the subscribers sent them to me first. However, there's one thing that I like about him, okay, which is he can be like Charles Harris. He can be very similar to Charles Harris in that regard, where you can ask him to just go get the quarterback, and he'll have enough of a reason and desire to want to go and get the quarterback. But where the ball kind of drops for me, like I said, I'm big on pass rush moves. When y'all start naming defensive players, I'm telling you right now, I want to see an arsenal of pass rush moves. If I don't see an arsenal of pass rush moves on a defensive end or edge rush or stuff like that, we're going to have a problem. But like I said, there are times where I'm thinking to myself, I would prefer you to do better when you're on the man in the blocking thing. When he gets his one-on-ones, he's not beating them enough for me. So what do I think of him? I think if you're going to take him, you better pick a very late round because he's going to need some work. He's going to definitely need some work because if things get a little too tough, I ain't buying it. You know, I ain't buying it. Like I said, it's just the pass rush moves. And I know you can teach them. I know you can technically teach somebody that stuff, but at the end of the day, it's not worth it for me. All right, let me see. Keep going. Let's also talk about this because I think this needs to be talked about. Culture. I don't know if you remember this, Risky. I spent a lot of time explaining to people that it don't take 3 years to change a culture. Do you remember that?
I don't. I just have to say they've implemented a pretty good culture within the last year or so.
All right. So when we had a guy named Matt Patricia, everyone kept saying how we need to change culture and it's going to take 3 years to change the culture and blah, 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 blah. And I did not see that. What I saw was a team that culture was getting changed, but for the worst. And DJ Chark, or Shark, or however y'all want to say his damn name, I suck with him, so don't you kill me on it. He was talking about that. He was talking about culture. He was talking about how his decision to come to Detroit was truly based around what he's seen in the culture. And he talked about the toxic environment that he experienced under Urban Meyer. Now, these are all significant points because when he talks about this, he points out things that stood out to him. He says the culture is big, and that's something that I really want to be a part of, like a family. It feels like I'm entering one. I'm accepted, Chark says. It says 1 minute later, it's a lot. This is 1 minute later, he says, it's a lot of unity here. I appreciate that. A lot of open dialogue, communication, and I really appreciate that as a player. And then a few minutes later, he says, I want to be around good people. These are good people. I feel good to be wanted. Well, sorry. It feels good to be wanted. I want to be where I'm wanted more than anything at the end of the day. And then another minute later, he says, I truly appreciate the way the staff kept that team together in 2021. And mind you, everybody named Mama dumped on them, including my homeboy Adam. Adam dumped on my man's MCDC for saying that he had antics and no other franchise would do these things. But the players and people around him respect it because they know that it's a passion thing. However, he says he truly appreciates the way that the staff kept this team together in 2021 and have faith in those guys. I know that means a lot to them, and I'm ready to be a part of it. I feel like it's definitely a different feeling than what I've been experiencing. Now, the praises that he gives is amazing. When they also talk to him about his experiences with Jacksonville, he says it's the most toxic environment I've ever been a part of. The most toxic environment I've ever been a part of. It says he was one of many sources that was willing to give his account of the season without the protection of anonymity. Oh, I'm always boshing on this damn word.
I think you said that Meyer would routinely threaten to fire coaches and players.
Oh, they said that this man was a savage. Like I thought he might be worse than Patricia.
Yeah.
Or they might be two sides of the same coin. But he says that you got players in fear that they're going to lose their job. He says if you got coaches who was belittled in front of us, I can only imagine what he was doing behind closed doors. I'm surprised he lasted that long, to be honest with you. And he also points out he feels like threats were what motivated him. He said, I know he would come up to us and tell us if the receivers weren't doing good, he wasn't going to fire us. He was going to fire our coaches.
Yeah.
He would usually say that when the coach was around. This isn't to take it any kind of way that the Lions are building, but he says he sees a whole different atmosphere in its entirety. Now that he's come out and said that, what do you think this means about the Lions coaching staff? What does this mean for the Lions outlook on getting other free agents? And what do you think this means in terms of the Lions approach into building this team?
I think it means a lot. I think it's very good that we're getting a good reputation for a really acceptable culture and inclusive and just a good culture in general. It's going to attract a lot of free agents within the coming years, especially when this team starts winning get a considerable amount of games. And yeah.
Now, I thought about this and I said, look, the culture thing takes 3 years. This is what I've been told. I've been told that it takes 3 years to change culture and all this other stuff. And I've tried to give example after example. You can't fire a head coach after 1 year. It takes 3 years. And the reality is this. If it takes 3 years to change the culture, we will see more and more teams suffering. We will see more and more teams not succeeding. And the reality is it don't take that long. And that's what's scary. But to see that we are starting to get a culture and we're doing things our way, that's dope. That's dope. To be able to see our guys on the outside who come here and go, just pay attention. And it wasn't just him. Anthony Walker talked about it when it came time for the Lions to play the Bears. He said, we better not go in there and sleep on this team. They are way better than what their records show. And this, to me, is more proof positive that the Lions are headed in the right direction. I know a lot of people want to see more signings in free agency, but what happens when they let some really good free agents go and now the Lions have a chance to add a big name person? Why do we got to get all our big name persons in the first wave of free agency? Why we got to do it in the second? Why can't we wait till the third or fourth wave, right? Like, to me, this shows me that they're doing it the right way. And I find it refreshing. I find it opening letter, in my opinion, to this fan base that's been suffering. It makes you feel good to know that somebody on the outside saw us and noticed us. That's just what it boiled down to. It says, I heard that number 99 of the Rams could be a problem for us. Who is that? Urban Meyer. He's the idiot. Lions will be sitting pretty next year. I agree. He didn't know who DJ Chark. I can't pronounce my man's name. I know where he came from. Lukegsfieldreview? Chenault? I can never pronounce his name. And James Robbins were. Urban is definitely worse than Patricia. That's crazy. I'm scared to say that. Is there a quarterback that wants to move out there right now that you would put a package together for? No. Not Baker Mayfield. No. Who wants to move? Who? I mean, if you're putting together a package, two guys in the podcast, if you're putting together a package for a quarterback, doesn't it make more sense to just draft one? Because whoever you put in the package together, they got to be better than Jared Goff, right? If I'm putting together draft capital and players, I'm getting somebody better than Jared Goff. Who is that player I'm getting? Tell me. So no, there is nobody that I'm willing to put a package together for. I thought I wanted Deshaun Watson. I saw that damn deal he got, and I went, whoo. Didn't know he wanted that. So it is what it is. Lions should have won more than what the record showed. This is true. Make sure I ain't missed nothing. Also, I know that you wanted to talk about the second overall pick, and who you were taking, why. I'll give you a chance to do it. Also, if you are still in the building, not a Lions fan, but please let me know so I can get you on the show, because you also had a take about this as well that I was like, oh, very interesting. Gardner Minshew, he'll probably get cut and you can get him any damn way. Seriously, you probably better get him anyway. You don't have to do anything. Like, I bet I could trade 2 firsts, a third, and Goff to the Rams for their quarterback. I believe that's the going rate. Hey, yeah, I know, right? Everybody looking for a quarterback now. You had one, you didn't appreciate him. Hey, that is the going rate. Trade for no quarterback, Stroud or Young in 2023. Well, if you do this the right way, you can always go and trade up for them guys. But get the people which you told me that who you would take at 2 and why.
For me, it's Kyle Hamilton. It comes down to one question: who would you bet your career on? And for me, that's always going to be Kyle Hamilton. I think he's not only the best player in this draft, but he has the least flaws of any player as well.
So, what is it that stands out about him that makes you want him, though? Like, what is it that you think he's going to bring to the team and stuff like that?
One thing, he definitely has a really great pursuit. He's really great at pursuit. He can really recognize the type of play that's going on, really diagnose it. And he's got he ran a pretty okay 40, I'd say, but he's more of a big-bodied, aggressive type of safety that I think would be really beneficial for this team. Yeah, I also think that he's got a really great IQ. I think he's had that for a long time. And I think he's just, going to be a starter. One way or the other is going to be a top 5 safety at least.
Who do you think is the best safety in this, like the best? Like, give me your top 5 safeties in this draft.
In this draft?
Yep.
1 second. Sorry, I have a list right here.
It's all good.
Yeah, for me, it's Kyle Hamilton at 1, Brisker 2, Pitre 3, Hill 4, and Sign 5. I also have some sleepers as well.
All right, now I'm gonna ask you this question about Dax Hill, because every time I watch him, he playing slot corner, bro. The few times I saw him playing safety, the few times I was like, no.
He has really good movement, and he's got good speed. I think he actually recognizes a lot more plays than when he is at the safety position. I think he's fairly good, catching up to players and all that. But, he doesn't have the, experience you'd want, which is why I think he falls. But if you're drafting a player who you think is just going to be good, when injuries start piling up and you just plug and play him at, like, outside corner or slot corner or safety,
I'm scared of the outside. I am terrified of putting Dax Hill at outside corner, and I don't feel confident putting him at safety. Now, in that slot corner, he dominates. He's a freaking bully. Like, he's aggressive and everything. But the times that I watch him at safety, the aggression leaves. And when the few times they somehow got him to the outside corner position, the aggression leaves. But that slot corner position, he turns into the full-fledged Debo for real. Yeah, he bullies you.
He's a very good slot corner. I really think he can be pretty versatile as well. I think his, skill set is for the, slot corner position, but he's also, extremely versatile. I think you can put AJ Parker in the slot and move him down to safety, or you can move him to the slot and put someone else at safety. And if there's ever any injuries anywhere, you just plug and play him. I'm, of course, not the highest of him. I think he actually lacks some weight, and that kind of affects his tackling and so forth. And he doesn't really take on blocks as well. But, I really do think he's just a really great athlete in general.
Now, for the people who disagree with what's going on here and you want to have a conversation, feel free to jump in. So my man Drew, you can always jump in. He said that this guy is talking about Brisker at 32, then I agree. Please don't be talking about Hamilton. Yeah, you can always jump in and tell me I'm crazy or tell me he's crazy. I just, want to know his thoughts. What do you think the Lions should go at 32? If they go Hamilton at 2 like you want, what should they go next at 32?
For me at 32, I think you go Boye Mafe, Christian Harris, that and a linebacker. I've also looked at some corners. One corner I like is that Kyler Gordon. I think he's got some pretty great movement. He's also very aggressive, very springy safety. I think he kind of reminds me of a Jalen Johnson in that way. You also look at some receivers, of course. I doubt the top 4 will be there, but you can also go the Christian Watson, George Pickens route. Those are two players I think would be very scheme fit benefit. Really be a good scheme fits right there.
All right.
Yeah.
Now I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I know you can go.
Now I put the link in there, so feel free to jump in and have a conversation. It's open. All you need is a microphone. You do not need your camera. You need a device with a microphone, and you can come in and chat it up with me and talk some football. That dude live says, "What free agents do y'all have y'all eyes on and hope we can make a move for any position, any side of the ball?" It's this man right here, Kaiser White. I really believe that Kaiser White can come in. I don't know if he's asking for too much money, you know what I'm saying? But I've seen enough of his play to know that he can truly come in and help us. And I think he has enough of ability to be a guy who can be with us longer than just this season. And I personally would like to see them go after him. Another guy I wanted already signed with the damn Bears. And the other guy I wanted went back. I believe went back to the Chargers, which was China or Nwusa, whatever his damn name is. I botched his name as usual. My man Drew showed up for the building. I see you, Drew. My man Drew finna come in. All I said is if you want to come and talk ball, come in. Ask and you shall receive. And my man Drew showed up. He don't want to hear about no damn Kyle Hamilton. Drew, what up, though? Welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, I just heard about your show a little bit ago from Don Burr. He was like, hey, stop on over and say hi. So I thought, might as well check it out if it's Lions stuff.
It's always Lions stuff. I've never talked about nobody else but the Lions. Like it's crazy because it's like it's not going to be popular, but I leave it open so we as a community can talk about it. We can agree to disagree. We can agree to agree or just flat out disagree. But it's all in love of the sport and having different views and respect. So you're going to find that on this show. You can literally come in here and tell me I'm a freaking idiot. I'm not going to take personal to it. I'm just going to be like, hey, tell me why.
Sure.
As long as you explain it. So you don't want to hear shit about Kyle Hamilton at 2. Why?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying he's not a great player. I mean, I recognize the talent. However, I mean, with the Lions being so bereft of talent at so many other places, especially like with higher positional needs and values, I just don't think that unless Aiden's off the board at 2, I just don't think Hamilton's the guy. I would rather have Thibodeau. Just someone that can affect the pass rush to help out the secondary. Well, there's 5 guys playing in the secondary on most plays, right? I'd rather have someone like Thibodeau screaming off the edge, cutting down the amount of time that the quarterback has to throw the ball to help out or ROA and Okuda if he can stay on the field and those guys. So I recognize that Hamilton's a good talent. I would prefer to have a Brisker at the end of the first, top of the second, something like that, than go all in on a safety at 2.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If because I know you new to the show, and I did a whole video showing Thibodeau.
Yeah,
and it was tragic. Okay, it was very tragic. For me, I'm a snob when it comes to the defensive players. I play defense myself. I pay attention to the detail. I'm trying to see every little intricate piece that they're doing. He doesn't have the pass rush moves. And the motor thing that's not real. That's not a real thing.
I am with you. Like he wouldn't be my second overall player like in the draft at that position, but I would rather just take a swing that like the coaching staff could develop a guy like him who has, if he can learn a pass rush move and a counter to it, I would rather have a guy with that athleticism at edge, going into like 2023 than say, Hamilton would be great if he could come in and be a top 5 safety in the NFL, but you can't tell me that he's going to be.
I watched over 2 full seasons of information for Thibodeau.
Yeah.
And not in one game have I ever seen him use a counter move.
Oh, no, he doesn't have one.
Right. Yeah, like it's not there. Now, I will say this. Why take the risk of taking a project player versus just saying, you know what? My ceiling is obviously higher with this guy because the floor is so low, in my opinion.
Right.
Why Thibodeau? Why, if you're stuck there, and let's say Aiden is gone at 1.
Yeah.
Why not take George Karlaftis over Thibodeau?
Oh, you're not gonna get me to say that's. I would walk away pretty happy with that. Because
Thibodeau to me seems real specific.
Sure, no, I see what you're saying.
Like, okay, I'm with you, I'm just saying.
Oh,
it seems specific. That's all.
We're on the same page. I just no matter even coming out of the combine, it just seems like Thibodeau still somehow maintain that edge 2 ranking as a consensus across at least the sites that I'm looking at. But like I would say that like Karolaftis has had a great combine. You know, I've liked his tape. And I think that, like, you know, obviously Trayvon Walker has had an amazing combine. And it, like, if you believe the stuff that they're saying about these Georgia defensive players, you know, they weren't asked to do some of the things that they're going to probably be asked to do in the NFL. So I would rather have a bigger guy like Walker or Karolaftis, but I'm not, if Aiden's off the board, I'm not going to just say, oh, well, it's Kyle Hamilton. Like, I don't have a problem with Kyle Hamilton. He did go to Notre Dame, which I have a really hard time with. But
what school did you in love with? You said Notre Dame.
Oh, I'm a Michigan fan. So.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I can see your Go Lions is real. His patty is showing today. He says, Luke, this show has been talking about eating squirrels, bear, gizzards, and smoked elk, suicide prevention, Detroit Lions with famous final quotes, but no ketchup allowed, though? Yeah, we don't talk about ketchup around. Y'all try to get me indicted. I don't know nothing about no ketchup, okay? Now, in case you didn't know, Drew, here's the ketchup thing.
Okay.
I may or may not have had a trip to Vegas.
Okay.
And left a bottle of ketchup in a rental car trunk. May or may not have. It may or may not have exploded into that trunk and looked like a complete crime scene. I cannot deny or confirm if that ever happened. I may or may not have closed the trunk and damn near drove the car back and acted as if though nothing was wrong with the car, praying and fingers crossed that they do not pop the trunk.
Yeah.
I may or may not have made it home with that trunk not being open. But in the meantime, I keep trying to explain to people, I do not like ketchup. Because in order for me to like ketchup, that would mean that that would mean that I would have to have it in a vehicle that I may or may not have driven or rented. And we know that I don't like ketchup, so no ketchup existed for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that was in there when you got it, right? I mean,
yeah, that had to be. It clearly was in there. It wasn't for me.
No other.
I want to show you something.
All right.
I want to show you something. I like having dialogue with people. Rumble, let me know when you're ready, brother. I want to show you something. And Crimson, I see you back there too, brother. Hold tight. We're gonna bring this up. All right, you can see this. Let me know if you can see it.
I got you.
This is a game against the Ravens.
I watched this game.
I know it's a very interesting game. Let me slow this down. No, you know what? I'm gonna let it play fast first.
Yeah, go ahead.
This play may look very familiar to you. As you can see, the score is 16-14. It's the fourth quarter. It's 3rd and 10. Let's take a look.
Sure.
Let's see what happens. Okay. Was that good pass rush?
You got pressure, which is something I'm not used to seeing from them. But I mean, he's just sitting back there waiting for things to develop.
Let's go back to the beginning. Is he truly sitting back there waiting, or did he buy himself some more time?
Well, he's buying time. I mean,
okay, all right. So now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rushing. Number 91, I believe that's Michael Brockers. I'm pretty sure that's a holding penalty. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna leave it alone though.
It's up by the neck, yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it alone. But the ball is getting ready to be thrown with a person in his face, so that's pressure, right?
Right.
All right. Now I want to show this because I'm gonna skip it forward. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna skip it forward just a little bit. Fans going, wow. People like, oh my God, what a great play. Yay. Let me get a little bit forward. Gotta go past this one too. All right. A little bit more. All right. This is that play right there. Now, I want you to look at this. This is very important stuff because I think it's telling. They brought everybody and their mom up in this mud.
Yeah.
And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4 covering. Well, one of these going to drop out. I believe it was him. I can't remember right now. All right. There go your 4 people in coverage. And there go that 5th guy. So it was him. I remember. All right. Now, I want you to watch this. There's 2 things with this that I want you to point out.
Who should I be looking at here?
The quarterback first.
Okay.
This is for my people who like Malik Willis. Tell me he's not open. Right? Like, tell me he not open.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me he not open and looking with this goddamn cushion. None of my business. Right here. It's really interesting to see how close they can push them back because we're talking about getting the edge rusher and the pass rusher. But look how far that tackle is back right at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, he counters off. This dude comes free. Now he's covered. He's covered. He's covered. He's covered. He's covered. Now he's looking. He forces a bad play. Would you say that was a fair assessment of a coverage sack?
It's kind of hard not to be when you got a guy with a 9-yard cushion that didn't get the ball.
I know that's another issue. But these are just the breaks. We can only go by what they showed us. But from what you've seen, it's fair to say that they got a fairly decent push on the quarterback, right?
Sure. In this example, I would say yes.
In this example, all right. I just want to be fair.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Now, let's go to one more little area because this one, I believe, starts about here. All right. Let's start this off right here.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Wait. Come on. There we go. All right. Again, I just want to know what your thoughts are. Obviously, fourth quarter, it's a minute before we up. We got a lead. I just want you to look at the play and tell me what you see.
I feel like you're setting me up for something here.
I'm not setting you up. I'm asking the question about this pass rush.
Sure.
Was that a good pass rush?
And the example that we just went through?
This one right here?
Oh, it's not moving for me.
Right now?
Yeah.
At all?
No. It's like it jumped from one still shot to the next. So it must be running slow.
Do anybody else see that still shot? If it's just me? If it's just me, let me know. I think I might know what the problem is. Rumble. Let me see if you're in there. Rumble ain't there yet.
What up, Luke?
All right. Rumble, do you see it jumping for you or no?
Give me 1 second here.
All right. I'm
Sorry about that.
I'm going to mute you for a second. So I can,
No, I'm here. I'm here.
All right. Let's see. All right, here we go. I'm going to bring it back up. I want to make sure we can see it now. Can y'all see it?
Yep.
All right. Let me know, Drew, if you can see it.
It says it's like 13 minutes into the video, but I can't see anything out of the video yet.
All right. It says 13 minutes and 48 seconds.
Yeah.
I'll rewind it back to the beginning. Can you see that now?
I see Jackson is back. His line's blocking all the Lions. Nothing's happening. Okay, there it's back.
All right. Hopefully it plays normal. I don't know why it's not playing normal, but we'll figure it out.
I got fingers crossed. So.
All right. So I'm letting it play. Let me know if this is good pass rush.
It's not playing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hate technology.
It's super choppy right now.
I hate technology. Let me figure something out. All right. You know what? I know what it is. Watch this. I know what it is. I know what the problem is. I'm on Direct Connect, and on top of me being on Direct Connect, my son is on this damn video game.
Fortnite.
You know what he's playing? It's not even Fortnite. You know what he's playing? Hot Wheel Racers. Apparently, this game allows you to take Hot Wheels and build your own tracks, and he's living his best life. But if what can I say? All right. So, Luke is still on dial-up. Damn it! That's not true. Okay, it's chopping up. Okay, let me try this one more time. I'm going to try this in a smaller frame. All right. I'm trying to show this. All right, let me see. I'm going to take this right here, put this on. And all right, here we go. Let's try it one more time. Let me know if it's moving, people. You see it moving back or no?
Nope.
All right, I'm playing it, and let's see what happens. There's still no movement.
Still choppy.
I don't know what the hell it is. I'm probably gonna take him off the damn game, and I can't do that. But the reason, this is what I can do. Okay. I want you to go to this play, if you got time, Drew, while
Sure.
you're on, I want you to go to the Detroit Lions versus Ravens. The video is 20 minutes and 32 seconds.
Okay.
All right. I want you to go to the timestamp where the video is played in at 13:41. I want you to tell me if that good pass rush or not. I don't know why this damn thing is acting like this, but it's not liking me today. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know what's happening with this. When you get that part done, let me know. Risky.
Hey, what's up?
All right. Risky. The reason I'm showing him this particular clip is because I want him to see something. There's two significant points that this clip is going to show him. And the reason for that is to just put up the graphic. I know, man. I don't know. I'm trying to, but it's not telling me my internet is looking weird. So I don't know what the hell is going on. But I wanted him to see this play. Because if he's looking at this play, I believe he will realize that taking Kayvon Thibodeau after seeing this play would be a mistake.
You
All
mean
right,
the Ravens play, right?
What's the timestamp? Oh, the timestamp is 13:41. The Ravens play 13:41 is the one.
Okay, so with that, I think it's the defensive line is, of course, kind of like the offensive line, where it's more about the unit than it is about a certain individual player.
Exactly. That's the first point. It is more about the unit than the individual. That's the first part. The second part that jumps out is a significant player is in and finally had himself at his true position with his hand in the dirt, which is Romeo Okwara. Now, you take that into account. They got not only great pressure, they got home and got the sack. Now, Drew, did you see it?
Yep, we watched it a couple times.
All right, that's good pressure?
I would have to say so.
All right. Now, they did that with Charles Harris, with Romeo Okwara.
Mm-hmm.
They sent Julian Okwara and Michael Brockers, and they got home.
Yep.
I'm finna show you one more timestamp because I want you to see this too.
Okay.
One more time. That's your last timestamp.
Okay.
It is 16 minutes and 29 seconds. 16 minutes and 29 seconds, that timestamp. I want you to see that timestamp as well. And the reason I'm doing this, people, is because I do not think we have good long-term memory. We like to quickly dissolve our pains outside of the scope, and there's a reason for it. He said that wasn't Romeo. Who is that? That ain't Romeo ain't number 95?
Romeo's 99, isn't he?
No, that's Julian.
Oh.
Romeo 95.
Romeo's 95. I think Julian's 99.
So I'm pretty sure. Let me see. I'm trying to get my internet together. Cause I already know what happened. My son probably found the internet cord and is playing with it because it's colored. So I know what he's doing. Romeo was on IR and he was not on IR in week 2. What are you talking about? what are you talking about? He was not on. Bro, let me go back and look at this. If it's one thing, I'm pretty sure that's Romeo Okwara. Let me look. Yeah, that's 95. You tried it though. It's
That was week 3.
Week 3. Come on, bro. He
Yeah,
wasn't on
week 3.
IR, right? He had that game.
4 tackles and a sack. Yeah, no,
Right.
he was in the game.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on, Joey. Come on. This ain't one of them times. I always tell you do the research. He says, my bad. I still love you. I still love you. D-Map, I see you back there. Gunner, I see you back there. Crimson, thank y'all for waiting so patiently for me. All right. Have you seen that last clip yet, Drew?
Yep.
All right. What did you think about that clip?
I thought that one guy got triple teamed, another guy got double teamed, and they left probably the weakest guy on single.
Did you happen to see number 25, the safety chasing the guy who got the ball?
I do. I'm watching it right now, actually.
Did you have now? This other part I want you to do when you get off of here with me. I'm not putting you off. I'm telling you to hang with me because after this, even after me and you have our one-on-one, we have community where you talk to everybody else. You can ask them questions, disagree with them, hate them. It don't make a difference. It's all good. You just hang in the back. You still hear the show.
Oh, Don and I have been arguing for a while now on other
who's
sites.
That?
Don Burr and I have been going back at it.
Don love him some me.
Yeah.
Don love him some me. My man Charles Davis says Luke can convince a circus clown a red balloon is actually a green box. Laughing out loud. Look at the timestamp. All right, stay with me. If you go back and you watch that game, that's one of the many games that I have burned in my memory. If you go back and watch those games, you're going to notice that the one safety who was making plays that whole game was Tracy Walker, and after a while, it became wearisome on him. I ask you, knowing what you just saw in those two clips, a small sample size, and a game that was so close, and it would have stopped if the safety, number 25, had the ability to just turn around and knock the ball away.
Well,
still won't Kayvon Thibodeau.
Well, so first of all, I mean, he's not my Kayvon Thibodeau. Wouldn't be my, if I'm the GM of the Detroit Lions at 2. That's not my pick. But like, even if Aiden's off the board, I'd have a discussion. But I mean, to me, the answer is, I mean, who isn't going to help the Lions at 2 in that situation?
And that's the only question that matters, Drew, for me. That's the only question that I look at when I'm trying to figure out who's going to do it. Plus, I take into account everything our general managers have said. On top of that, I take into account what the coaches have said and how they're doing it. They want people with certain attitudes. Kayvon Thibodeau doesn't have the attitude. He said that he's going to do all the drills, but the day became too long. And anybody knows when the day is too long, you go home. And he did, right? He did. However, if I heard fans say George Karlaftis at 2, great. Aiden Hutchins at 2, I don't even kill you for that. I personally think they're going to still take Kyle Hamilton. But when you say don't talk about Kyle Hamilton and you see those plays, and I can point you to other games where you will be like, God damn it, because it's happening too much in a way that you're trying to figure out, how do I stop this? And then you go and look at the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth best safeties, you will see none of them can cover the whole entire field. There's one.
Okay. Well,
there's one.
That's awesome. And I really thank you for bringing me on to talk a little bit about this. But if Aiden Hutchinson's on the board, I'm taking Aiden Hutchinson. On the table.
That's fine. I'm not going to kill you for that. When you said Kayvon Thibodeau, I damn near wanted to faint because he doesn't fit what they talk about. He doesn't have that grit attitude. He doesn't have the pass rush. He doesn't have the work ethic. I've seen him on 3rd and 18 in a game against UCLA where he has a chance to just full out pass rush. There's nothing the quarterback can do. Just go get him. He literally leans against the tackle and gets bodied, put on his back. And I showed that on a live show where I said, look, this is the guy we're getting. I can't do it. I also had shows where I went off and blew up after we lost to the Packers, and I said we lost because of these damn linebackers. And I showed it piece by piece. So a lot of times when somebody come on, they say something, I'm never going to tell you you're wrong. I'm going to ask you to re-examine or explore other options. Like I do. I explore other options. People open me up to a lot of different players. And I take that information and say, you know what? Dang, I can see what they see here. But with Kayvon Thibodeau, I don't see it.
So I'll jump off here right after I ask you this question. But with the job the coaching staff did of creating a culture in the locker room this past season,
okay,
do you think that you can add, not that I'm advocating for him, but do you think that you can add a player like a Kayvon Thibodeau who might need an attitude adjustment?
No, because the one thing I know about people is this: the same way tigers don't change their stripe, people, you can't teach old dogs new tricks, and especially new dogs with lots of money. They're going to always look at it and give you their all. Perfect example, look at the Dallas Cowboys. This the same thing that was happening with Ezekiel Elliott. When he had that first contract, he gave you everything he got. Soon as he believed that he arrived and got that big contract, Tony Pollard became the best running back. This is not me making this up. This is the reality. And when I watch him, he don't block like he used to. He don't run like he used to. He don't catch like he used to. And they're constantly playing, let's fix his attitude. We don't have time for that. We're the Lions. We cannot play these games. And by the way, you do not have to leave. You can always hang in the back and just listen to the show. You're not being kicked out. All right. So let me just bring in the next person. I can still see you in here, and you can still hear me from the back. Crimson Shadow was up next. Sorry, Crimson, it took me so long. Wait a minute. Crimson, wait, he there. He ready.
Yeah,
He's ready.
I'm here. I'm just.
Oh, he came with the captain on. I see. Boy, you got the good box of cereal. You know what I mean? You got the good eats going on. I see you in the streets.
Man, it's trade deadline day, and today was I'm happy and disappointed at the same time.
Right, I get it, man. D-Map Zoom says, sorry, Luke had to leave, got busy at my job. Man, get the money. I'm here so y'all can have something to listen to while y'all at work.
Get back to work. I'll be honest, we've been off for complicated reasons. But
what did you get for us today, man?
Well, on my end, I mean, Kayvon Thibodeau, look, I've seen a lot of comments out there that are thinking that he's playing 4D chess and basically trying to tank his stock.
What? Wait a minute. What?
Yeah. I've seen a lot of comments like that, saying going to the combine, not putting out the work, trying to make sure he goes lower so he avoids teams like us. There's a lot of theories going around for that, and I don't know.
I think Kayvon Thibodeau.
But here's the thing.
Kayvon Thibodeau wants to be the best person in the room.
He loves his
interviews. He talks really he's well spoken. You know, it's not like Ezekiel Elliott.
Again,
he just.
I know.
It's a complicated situation, especially for Norm.
That's what he is. He's a prima donna. And Thibodeau, to me, it's like, look, we've dealt with these prima donna players, and it never ends well. We can't. Yeah, Dan's the type of guy that would put a prima donna in his place, but is he going to be like Baker or a freaking Odell and start to pout because he doesn't get his way? I mean, it's hard to say. If someone tells him the truth, I don't think he'll react well to it.
And also, I think Don Burr brings up another good point. When you're drafting these people, you're looking at somebody who you think can come in, be successful, and want that second contract with you.
Yeah,
I agree with Don Burr. I think he'd come in, ball out here, and leave for a bigger payday somewhere else. It's been great. And to me, you have to have somebody who's willing to buy into a style of play that evolves around you, not winning every single down, but you got to still give me 2,000%.
I agree. I really do agree. And that's why I want Kyle Hamilton, because look, I want the surefire first string guy. None of these guys are really we don't know. And like you just showed our pass rush, edge isn't really our biggest need. It's really safety, and really wouldn't hurt to have another edge. You can never have too many edges and too many D tackles. I run by the Eagle and Chicago Bears school of thought. Give me all the defensive line help you can. We need linebackers and safeties more so, though.
I agree. Rumble, what do you think, man? I mean, obviously, people are going to have certain cases. I'm trying to stay away from that second pick overall. I'm more focused on that pick 32 and 34. But in general, when looking at it, if the Lions let's say the Lions, devil's advocate, Rumble, let's say the Lions go out and they decide, hey, we're taking quarterback. We're taking Malik Willis at 2. Let's say they do that. What do they have to do now at 32?
Well, at 32, they better address the defensive side of the ball. I think the defensive side is easier to fix in this draft than offense will be, because we don't know about these quarterbacks, but we know there's a lot of defensive players in this draft. So, we're talking about Kyle Hamilton at 2. Yeah, but if they decide to use that on another pick, well, we still have some safeties out there, even at 32, that I feel like we could really be potentially looking at as far as picking. But I agree with Crimson. Like, that guy's 6'4", 220, and I know he can cover the field, and I can line him up in the box. I mean, I would take him. That would be my pick. But again, I would understand if they decided to go with the edge.
Like Luke showed, I mean, he just proved it right there. It wasn't our pressure killing us; it was our safeties and linebackers that were killing us in that Baltimore game.
And that's just one game. I dare somebody try to challenge me. I give you more, right? Like
the Green Bay game, you're right about
I'll give you more. Like, I'll show you a game at the game throughout the weeks where I'm like, bro, look at this. And I'm talking about these are crucial downs. These are things that are happening in crucial parts of the game. So that's what I'm pointing out. Risky. I don't know if you saw my video that I did on Boye Mafi, but after getting exhausted with all of we got to take Aiden Hutchinson because he killed Ohio State, I found another guy who killed Ohio State in Boye Mafi. What are your thoughts on him? If we can get him at like 32 or maybe 34.
I think Boye Mafi is really good. I think he tore up the Senior Bowl. I've been high on him for a while. He's got a lot of pass rush moves. He can bend. He's got a lot of power. But I kind of had been having some doubts that he'll be available at 32. I think especially with David Ojabo, with his torn Achilles. I think it's a no-brainer at 32. But if he's there, it's kind of up in the air right now.
My man Drew, who again, you're more than welcome to come back on. That link stays up there. Just because you came in one time don't mean you can't come back. He says, what can't you address in this draft?
Absolutely.
Quarterback.
I agree with him.
Quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback.
Or running back. You could also.
I might listen.
Those positions are pretty obvious, but I think the one position that is kind of getting weak towards the end is the interior defensive line.
Get out my head, Risky. Get out my. I was just gonna say I kind of was still thinking about the running back, but I think there's one position that if people really want it, they're gonna have to think long and hard about it, which is that interior D line. And Risky, being the smart gentleman that he is, took the idea and ran with it. I ain't mad at you, bro. I get it.
Yeah.
Don Burr says it's 72 in the chat. Only 36 likes. Smash that like button for Luke. Eat the pieces of listen. Let Rumble. All I ask, all I ask is, I really thought that elks were protected animals. I didn't know people ate this. I knew that back in the day, people used the furs and stuff.
Oh yeah, I know that.
I didn't know they ate them.
Yeah, elk is up there along with moose.
Moose.
Your boy Joe Rogan loves his moose. Yeah, absolutely.
Moose, that big bow winkle moose.
Yeah. That's a lot of meat.
I mean, you pretty much eat anything.
Yeah,
some people do.
Y'all, I'm way too much for the city, man. I've been in Detroit too long. That man said moose. I'm tactical puma. They can't go to the zoo. Next thing gonna be telling me zebra and giraffe is hot fire. I can't. Moose.
You put hot sauce on anything, man. You could just about eat it.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
You would have had your skin crawl. Because when I was a kid, I come from the countryside. I lived up North Michigan. I come from near Mayville, North Branch area. I know a guy whose mom bought some cow tongue. I opened up his freezer. There was a freaking cow tongue in there, and they ended up making burgers out of it.
Oh man.
I mean, it's one of the things. Truth Teller says, let me say this again. There has never been a DB who was average athletically drafted in the top 3 that has been successful. It's the same thing I said about Okuda.
That's cornerback versus safety, though. You're two different positions here.
I mean, I'm not arguing with his point. I'm not. I just don't. I think the only thing that I take exception to is the word average athletically. How did you determine that? You know what I mean?
Well, I also think that there's really no player in this draft worthy of a top 3 pick. I mean, except for Evan Neal and Kyle Hamilton. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson is he's got some flaws. Kevin Thibodeau has some flaws. George Kalafdis has some flaws. I think there's no real sure thing in the draft.
And people want to bring up the Okuda pick, but the problem with the Okuda pick was there was obviously better picks we could have made.
Yeah,
this one isn't.
With the Okuda pick, it's funny because people always bring up Kyle Hamilton's 40-yard dash, but Okuda ran a 4.5 for a corner, which is pretty bad.
And we got to realize that was a completely different coaching staff, and
right.
I don't think this guy's gonna. I think he's much more. He's much more in depth as far as his research and
right. Yeah, I think he's on.
And
he's being really methodical with everything.
If looking at some of these players, okay, well, their ceiling is Trey Flower numbers. Well, I already got a guy that plays like Trey Flowers. His name is Charles Harris. So why do I need another Trey Flowers?
And that's how I feel about Aiden Hutchinson. I feel like he's Trey Flowers. I feel like Kyle Vanderbilt Trey Flowers to me. He'll get you 7.5 sacks, but that's where I feel like it stops.
I feel like Kayvon Thibodeau is like Montez Sweat. I think that's his ceiling.
Oh, don't even get me. You know, I got chewed
I
out
know
about.
you do,
Yeah, I got chewed out by pointing this stuff
right?
out.
He tries to out athletic. He doesn't have any moves.
I'm gonna realize I did not realize I was in here.
Oh, what's up, Gunner?
Hey, what's up, Gunner?
I'm staring at the damn screen. I'm like,
Look,
oh, I'm in here.
look, I slid Gunner because I knew Gunner wasn't gonna be ready. And I was trying to see if I can hear that damn bow he was swinging around.
No bull. We paper plate game today.
Hey, had a baby.
Gunner. Now, Chris, you know I'm gonna toss you in the back, brother. I'm gonna bring in Gunner. I'm gonna bring in down 19, and then if my man Drew want to come back, he can. If somebody else want to join, jump in and tell us we crazy. But I'm finna switch gears on this a little bit because I'm finna put down 19 in who basically lost his crap once I said quarterback.
Man, listen, if we take a quarterback, I swear to God, bro, I'm gonna go fucking nuts.
But why though? Listen, hold on, wait. Why though? Why are you?
What you mean? Why?
Because listen,
quarterback.
You know the rules. If you're upset about something, you still got to support the reasoning behind it. The people don't want to just hear that you're going to have an emotion. They need to know why you're going to have the emotion.
Bro, they not good, bro. They average. They not good. Baby hands, Kenny. Hell no.
So we'll discuss not taking Kyle Hamilton at 2, but we'll draft a Liberty QB at 2.
Man,
One of the smallest schools in the nation. We'll draft for the Liberty quarterback at 2.
The school size don't bother me. I can show you.
The hell out of me.
I can show you reasons why, but I would also tell y'all just go check out the QB school who did 5 videos breaking down that quarterback.
When I saw that clip of him wait for routes to finish when he had 3 dudes open,
yes,
I'm out on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't know how you. I don't know. That's gonna take a while to coach that.
Kenny 2 gloves.
Kenny 2.
Dude,
like, why do he have 2 gloves? Like,
I don't know. Listen, I don't know. It's hard in these streets for him. I mean, everybody can't be like Treylon Burks and gets gloves specially made because they got 5X hands. Everybody can't be that guy.
No, I'll let Treylon Burks be my quarterback. I'll take that over any of these QBs in this class.
He got them Gary Coleman hands.
I actually think Sam Howell is the only quarterback the Lions should be looking at right now. I think he's got everything they're looking for. You know, he's got the arm strength, the accuracy, the decision making. He's also got all the intangibles they like as well.
Do you think they should look at him as a option in the later round of the draft, like 32?
Yeah,
since how Lamar went at 32, you think they should look at him around there?
I wouldn't draft him at 32. I think this draft is all about getting your defensive and offensive starters. Next year, I think, is when you start looking at the quarterback position. But if you really think you're not going to be able to get one of those quarterbacks next year and you're confident in Sam Howell, like you think he's just perfect for the team you're trying to build, then I say you take a pretty hard look at him and you consider him rightly at 32 or 34. And if he's there at 66, which some people have him going, I mean, it's worth a shot at least.
Okay, listen, I'm not here to kill y'all. I want y'all to, start to look at it a little bit different. And I also want y'all thoughts on this before we rotate up to the other parts of the question. It says, please don't draft the long snapper. Jacob, we're not taking
Nah, we already got a rookie player.
Alec Pierce killed that Notre Dame, so you can find bad tape for every player, even Hamilton. I never said I wasn't looking for no bad tape. I'm looking at every single thing. The difference is well, you know what? I'll have to show you truth teller, but I'm not saying that you're wrong. I look for tape based on everybody. So what my formula is this: the first thing I want to do is I don't even look at your at the players' highlights. That is going to automatically sway you because it's the best of their plays, and so I don't want to see that. What I do is I go and I look at the games that you had the highest statistical success in, and I look at that game and I compare it to the game that you had the worst statistical success. Once I see those 2 games, every snap, I then work my way through every other game after that to see is what I'm seeing a pattern. Is it a trend? Is it continuing on? Like if I like for example, when I was watching tape on Okudah, one of the things I noticed was he was giving great coaching because guess what? The front 7 was so good and his safety play allowed for him to do these kind of things and be bailed out. So what I started doing was I said, let me see how he performed against better talent. Donovan People-Jones killed him. Nico Collins killed them. They went
player.
against Michigan State.
Wait. You said who? Nico Collins?
Listen.
Luke's favorite player.
That was last year. I don't remember that. That was a long time ago. All right,
long
it's a long time ago.
Like 2
Right.
years
Okay,
ago.
my bad.
Ago. But they killed him, and he held them the whole damn game, and a flag was never thrown. And I saw this piece by piece. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, well, let me see how he's going to do, against some of the other talent. He went up against Clemson, and those receivers killed him. And everybody like, he held him to this. And I'm like, no, he dropped this. This player dropped this. They was killing him, and it is what it was, and that's why I said you just can't do it. But I'm not saying that Alec Pierce didn't do his work against Notre Dame, but I'm fair in my assessment of people. Shout out to my man Adam in the building. Salute to you, sir. I saw you.
Didn't Quintez Cephas also kill him as well?
Well, Quintez Cephas killed him, but that was, the guy that ran the 4.78, I believe it was. We're going to leave that alone. But that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is some things can be different. And if y'all not sure who my man Adam is, then you just simply need to go and check out Woodward Sports Network on YouTube. And we on the radio in this mud. We on podcasts in this mud. We in the building. You check them out. You check him out. You check out my man SpeakEZ and my man Spencer on the heavyweights. They last video is hilarious.
Off the chain,
last
man.
video.
Nah, you talked about that when they were going downtown and talking about made-up names.
Listen, we're not even going to spoil it. If you have not checked out Woodward Sports Heavyweights with Easy and Spencer, and that video that they did is genius. But my man Adams is from Woodward Sports, so make sure if you ain't over there, check them out. It is what it is. Adam says, what is today's show about? We are talking about, obviously, what does it mean for them bringing in Arden Key? I think he's just another camp body at best. Mm-hmm. I don't think he changes our draft board at all.
You're wrong about Arden Key, Luke. He's going to be a good rotational player. I told you about him. I said, I like this dude.
Man, that dude had his best season since they invented.
He has solid rotational player. That's all he going to be.
What?
I mean, to be fair, Luke, Charles Harris was kind of crap until he came here, and you never know if you develop him right.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you the difference between Charles Harris and Keys. Charles Harris actually had pass rush moves. He just happened to be on a team where he just was asked to play out of his position, whereas Keys had been on teams where he was asked to play within his position, and in 4 seasons gave us 3 sacks.
Mind you, he was a didn't he get drafted by the Dolphins? So him and Dan Campbell.
I'm just saying he got drafted by the Dolphins, and
him and Dan Campbell had something. Dan Campbell knew what he was getting with him.
Hey,
he probably knew how to ruffle his feathers to make him.
I'm just saying. Now, keep in mind, that's the other thing. The other part we were talking about, because I'm done with that second pick, was let's play scenario. If the Lions take this person at that first pick, who do you have to take at pick 32 and pick 34? For me, if you take, say, quarterback at 2, you have to take a receiver. You just have to. You have to give him a running mate. And at that point, you essentially wasted a pick, in my opinion, because you got to wait to get return on it and pray to God it pans out. I don't know if Trey Lance is going to have success his first season, but I would trust a Trey Lance over a Willis, and that's just the truth.
I got to admit, I love that you brought that up. How would you feel about Watson for 32? Because that's what I drafted. I got killed for it.
Watson?
Christian Watson.
Yeah.
Receiver, Notre Dame, or North Dakota State
Why
receiver.
would they kill you for it?
Dude, on PFF, it gave me an F. I put it in the chat, actually.
You can't reference PFF, man.
Bro, PFF has an offensive lineman.
At least give me a C. I mean, they looked at it like it was a reach. Dang.
PFF
Christian Watson, I had to think really hard. Yeah. Shout out to the people. Again, I keep telling y'all, I do not usually remember names. I remember schools and numbers.
I do like Pickens as well, but the injury history worries me.
I don't know. As soon as he came back for that championship game in Georgia, their offense changed for the better immediately when he came back. I would like George Pickens.
Yeah, that's a good question. Ojabo if he falls. I like that question from Adam.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Yeah, Adam brought up a great point this morning. Of course, we would take a few falls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, listen, I got yelled at. They said you praising the injury. I said I'm not praising the injury. I'm telling you this opens the door up for you to get it. Like, think about it. If you wanted to draft an edge rusher, right, and you didn't, like, let's be honest. If you want to draft an edge rusher, this is just me. Y'all can shoot me if you want. I don't think he gets drafted in the first 3 rounds now because of that injury. It's an Achilles. I don't think who's touching him. He was already said.
How bad was the Achilles injury, anyways? I didn't look into.
That's what I said with Jameson Williams as well. The wide receiver out of I would take him because I think he's going to drop as well.
People kept bringing up the Cam Akers comebacks. Like that is an oddity. That is not going to happen.
But if you watch Cam Akers, it really wasn't a comeback. Yeah, he definitely looked slower. He definitely didn't have the same explosiveness or power.
I was questioning why they kept putting him on the field after a while.
I did too, and I was like,
look,
it wasn't the same.
Tires, I guess.
But I can tell you this much. I think if he falls to you to the third round and you decide like in the third round he worth a risk, okay, whatever. Because at this point you already knew he was going to be a project anyway.
So we did with Julian.
But keep in mind with me, my only rule is simple: the first 5 picks need to be on the field. Starters. I have that. I'm not shaking that rule. My first 2 first, that third, and that second, and them 2 thirds. They need to be on the field. I don't care about anything else. I want players on the field. You have an opportunity to take 5 players within, I think, the top 150 or top 100. Give me 5 players that's going to get on the field.
Well, how long do you want them to start for? Or do you want them to be starters, or do you want to be like rotational?
My first 3 picks better be starters.
They need to be starting immediately.
No, I mean,
we have an easy schedule.
Snaps do you want them to play?
I want them to play more than what I want them to play more than what they did to Derek Barnes and Jamar Jefferson. I want that. I want more than that.
All right, yeah. You still believe in that Derek Barnes?
Hell yeah.
Right,
I sure do. You know what Derek Barnes' problem was? He wasn't consistently used, and the more you use him, the more you can point to game at the game where he made plays. Did he give us some stuff? Hell yeah, nerves set in. He new to this. He got to work himself in. But the other part of it that stands out is with Derek Barnes. You know that he's a guy that can move around, which again lends itself to a point to say, hey, we really need to focus on those interior guys, like those interior linebackers, and getting people who can help us in the secondary. He talked about the perimeter, and that's where it came in at for me. My man Drew came back. Shout out to you, Drew.
Okay, so if you think Derek Barnes is still going to be the starter, why does it still make sense to draft a linebacker at 32 and 34?
Yes, because now what you do is you're giving yourself the opportunity to play chess. Now at this point, you don't know who's coming. You can still rush Derek Barnes. People forget that one of the people that was rushing with George Karlaftis when they was blitzing was Derek Barnes. And so you have an opportunity to rush him still and let him do what he do best. You've seen those games where they threw the ball short and he was there snuffing it right out. So now you have that part done. But then you switch it to the other part. You say you add another linebacker like Christian Harris, or you add Brandon Smith. You add one of those guys. You get in a whole nother layer of it. Plus, for me, I ask myself small questions like, who can I take that's going to do what I want them to do in terms of covering tight ends, covering running backs and stuff, having the coverage skills, but still be able to tackle and blitz? That's Brandon Smith. That's Christian Harris, even though Christian Harris' coverage skills is questionable at times.
And plus, we got to replace Maben. Keep that in mind. We just lost a pretty good linebacker.
But see, I'm okay with Maben. Reeves could have left. He was one of the people that I needed to be gone. I felt like him being here signified to me that
old regime,
not old regime, but just mediocrity at best.
He was all right. Wasn't a world beater. I'd say he was better than Alex, but Alex is
I think it also means that they want youth more at the position, and they're trying to find other potential starters.
Good point, Risky. I like that. I want youth as well.
Yeah, I'm going to need Will Harris to get out of here. Next.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this is where the time where y'all can ask me any question y'all want is open. My man Adam is always in the building. I'm pretty sure Adam's going to say I'm batshit crazy, but hey, he loves me either way. No matter what Adam tells y'all, he loves me. Okay, all right.
I don't know. Michael Mike, I think, almost turned him on Hamilton when he said he was Quin and Diggs' love child.
I know. I'm like, man, Mike, why would you say that? Mike, why would you say that?
Well, it worked, didn't it?
I mean, God.
Drew, you got your bike beater at StreamYard.
Gary says, how about taking a flyer on Sue for a year or two? He won't come back here. He won't come back. He hates this fan base. He hates this fan base. He hates how he
he didn't like the old regime. He doesn't mind Detroit. He still owns property here.
Right, but see, that's business. Business is different from pleasure. This would be pleasure. If he come here for business, you're gonna pay him as such. I don't see him caring. Drew, let me ask you this question, sir. Because I think this lends itself to a wider view. And also, the game plan is this week to do some mock draft. But Drew, you're sitting up there. You're at 32. You're the general manager of the Detroit Lions. Ladies and gentlemen, the Detroit Lions general manager Drew is he's going to come in and let you guys know what he's doing with that pick at 32 and 34. The floor is yours, sir.
Without knowing who's been taking the 31 picks in front of me. Okay.
It's okay. This is your world, Squirrel. You just trying to get nut.
My world, great. I mean, I have a hard time not looking at like wide receiver. I mean, I know that. I mean, there's a lot of good points in the chat about fixing the defense, and that's absolutely necessary. I just have a hard time seeing if someone like a Chris Olave or I don't know who might still be there. Treylon Burks is slipping right now for whatever reason. I know
they say he ran a slow 40, which I find ironic.
He did not run slow at Arkansas.
Right. You know, I know he plays a lot in the slot, and I know that's where St. Brown, has done his best work this last season. So I wouldn't want to take a redundant pick there. But if he's on the board at 32, I mean, I would have a hard time passing on him. I like a lot of the defensive players. Like I would consider Jaquan Brisker to play next to Walker. If Hamilton wasn't the pick at 2, then there's a possibility that depending on who your favorite linebacker is, at that spot, Nakobe Dean seems to have slipped a little bit recently.
But it's a reason why, because people are still concerned with the fact that he won't run, right? He won't lift. It's rumored that I think they said he tore a muscle or something, or
it's not good.
Something like I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it's going to be questions about that when you're not there. Lion King, I see you in the back, brother. Don't go nowhere. It's going to be questions about that kind of stuff when he's not there. But I hate to tell y'all, I think I like Nakobe Dean, but for the Lions I don't, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you why. Not that he's a bad player, but in that last game that they had, that championship game, after that receiver got hurt, he started making business decisions. I ain't got no time for that. I ain't got no time. He was not. Go back, if y'all think I'm making this up, go back and watch. Right after Jameson Williams got hurt, watch him start making business decisions about tackling people, where to tackle them. He was only trying to get in on the tackle if somebody else initiated it, and it was bothering the hell out of me. I don't have time for a guy who's playing that kind of game, and that is going to irritate my soul and spirit. Now, my man C. Gerald says, what's your opinion on School Days? That is one of my favorite movies of all times. When I say Gamma, you say Punk. Gamma, Punk. That's how I go, baby. And I love that movie. When he's telling you at the end of the movie to wake up, it's so many positive messages in there. And because of movies like School Days, because of the Cosby Show, because of A Different Word, is why I chose to go to a HBCU, because I didn't know that they existed. So shout out to those kind of things like that type of exposure. Lion King shows up to the building. What up, though, sir?
What up?
What up,
Lion King? What you got for the show today, brother?
You know who I like.
Go ahead. Get it off your chest. Get it. Why? Tell me why.
He reminds me of Michael Vick. And guess what? Tomorrow he gonna run a 4-3.
Now let's just say I'm on board with you, right? Let's say he do run a 4-3. Hell, let's say he run a 4-2, right? The Michael Vick comparison terrifies me, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Michael Vick was not known in the league as a passer. If you watch Michael Vick, you would know that Michael Vick was a way better passer when he got to the Eagles and realized he wasn't finna outrun nobody. And Michael Vick himself said, had he took his work more serious, he would have been a way better football player, because he would have then been able to have a complete game. Now, if you want him because of his running ability, fine. Tell the Lions to run Wildcat. You get the same results.
But that's why. But listen, that's why at the combine he didn't run. You remember?
Right, but the thing about it, what everybody
was on the run.
The thing was, if you watched that combine when he was throwing, and you heard all the fans going ooh, nobody was rushing at him. Right? Nobody. I didn't see them throw a pillow at him. There wasn't no feathers dropping out of the sky. Nobody was coming at him, and everybody looked good throwing the ball at that time.
Okay, listen to me. Your whole thing about Malik Willis is, okay, why should we draft him? Because he's going to sit for a whole year, right?
Right.
But we're not going nowhere this season. We're not going anywhere. Not with golf. Golf is not going to roll down Woodward Boulevard.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, golf went to the Super Bowl. Just saying.
But I'm just saying, but fair enough. But is Malik Willis going to roll to the Super Bowl the year after? Is he going down Woodward?
23 is going to roll down Jefferson and Woodward.
I believe.
We're going to come out of Belle Isle. And we're going to roll down Woodward.
So wait. So let me get this straight. They doing the whole world tour. They going from Belle Isle to Jefferson to Woodward.
Yeah.
The MGM.
They're gonna stop at the Greek. I'm just saying, Lion King. If you're taking the guy second overall to not play, it doesn't make sense.
It's a lot of quarterbacks getting played their first year. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, but here, before I go, I want to ask you this one question.
Okay.
How many potential franchise quarterbacks is Detroit Lions going to pass by?
Malik Willis would be one of them.
Justin Herbert would be my example.
Yeah. Well, first of all, to be fair, we can't count Russell Wilson because everybody named Mama had Russell Wilson as a third-round pick or later because of his height. They didn't think he was going to be that, and Russell Wilson succeeded because he had arguably the most disrespectful, most damaging running back in the history of football in Marshawn Lynch, who can do these things. And then on top of that, he had a defense that was not human. So yes, Russell Wilson looked good in that regard, but look at what Russell Wilson has done since Marshawn Lynch left. Nothing. Now let's go to Justin Herbert. We're ready to crown him. I get it, but they ain't even been to the playoffs yet, and we crowning him already. And now we're holding everybody else to a different standard, and that's not fair.
Everybody wanted Tua then.
And everybody wanted Tua. Everybody. The only person, to be fair, only person that wanted Herbert was Micro Mike. And I didn't even shoot it down to him. I just said, look, I need the defensive guy. All right, I got Stafford. I'll grab me a quarterback later. I needed Simmons.
I didn't want Matt Patricia to ruin him.
Mm-hmm. Right. I said, what happens when you take this guy and now you picking high again and you take another quarterback? So I'm picking up what you putting down, but that's hindsight. And hindsight is 2020 for everybody. Ask yourself this question. If you look at all the teams you name who quarterback set, they teams were way more set as a whole than the Lions. Kansas City, they allowed him to set, and that team had won 11 games with Alex Smith. You go to the 49ers. That team was another team that everybody was, you took Trey Lance. Yeah, because they already had like 800 damn running backs. They had a slew of receivers, and their defense and team was set. And you can keep going down the list and looking at it. But go and look at teams who took a quarterback and didn't have nobody to sit. You know, when you talk about people like Josh Allen struggled and had to go through the growing pains, but they allowed him to play. And that was huge, and that was important. And that's all I'm pointing out. You have to allow a person to go through the growing pains and play out the process. And I think you will see then why I'm so against taking a person who cannot come in and help us this year. We are every year.
Okay, hold up. Adrian Hutchinson's going to be taken first from what we think right now, right?
That's the theory.
So then, who do you say we should take at 2? Hamilton?
Yes.
Hamilton or Kalafdis, one of the two.
Kalafdis?
Well, you know what I mean, Karlaftis, whatever his name is.
You know. Sorry, I'm as bad as Luke with
That
names.
kills me every time.
Dude, nobody can say his freaking name. Nobody, what the hell? Okay, no, I'm just saying. But look, Hamilton would be my pick. If you're asking me who I think they're going to take based on what the coaches and the general manager has said and the players they have taken, Hamilton, I think, is going to be the pick. That was my early prediction back in December, but that would be my pick.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to come in and help right away.
Yeah.
Why don't we go get PJ Williams? He's out here.
So if you go out and get PJ Williams, who does he upgrade? Does he upgrade from Will Harris?
Brady Breeze?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is he going to upgrade from Brady Breeze? We don't know. He was a rookie. We know he's not upgrading. He's not an upgrade over
T. Walker.
T. Walker. So I'm just saying, to put it in perspective, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
We got to make this pick. We got to make this draft really hit, though. I mean,
right? But what you can't do is make the draft really hit and take a guy who's not going to play.
We can't reach though either. But I agree, Lion King.
I agree. The thing is, we're not going to win in 22 anyway, though, right? Are we going to the Super Bowl this year?
No.
Okay, then. Okay, that's my point.
The reason why I want to go
going to the Super Bowl this year.
The reason why I want to go George is because this is a very deep safety class. We could afford to miss on Hamilton, but I think George would be a guaranteed starter. You can get George, and he would be an excellent pass rusher, I feel, for us. And we still can land a safety if we want. We can land 2 safeties if we need to. It's a very deep class.
What about Brad Hill? There's a lot of safeties, man.
And Lion King, I will point this out to you too. Before I let you go, I will point this out to you too. That if the idea is to hit in this draft, then the idea should also be to hit on players who contribute and have impact immediately. And if you're taking somebody who's not going to have that immediate impact, then at that point we are failing ourselves, and we're failing our chances to do what we've been doing, which is attract free agents and people who are seeing what's going on here and want to be a part of it. Because at some point, it's not going to just be about effort. It's going to be about, are they winning? That's all I'm pointing out, Lion King. Good players, not for Lions. Leave it to Adam.
I hear you.
Leave it to Adam to come in and cap it off. Good player, get a damn pass rusher. I could listen. The top pass rushing team, what if they record? Which the Pittsburgh Steelers, what if they record?
Okay, well, let me ask you this: what position can turn this franchise around? A pass rusher or a quarterback? And then I'm gone.
What position can turn this franchise around? A pass
quarterback
rusher
or an edge rusher?
The edge rusher.
An edge rusher?
Yeah.
It depends on the player.
This draft class?
Depends on the
Or are
draft.
you just saying in general?
No. He didn't say. He didn't say.
He didn't say. Turns this franchise around.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Y'all gotta understand. Luke always thinks differently, right? I'll give you a perfect example. Drew, you're gonna probably kill me for this, but stay with me, Drew. The quarterback is dependent upon so many entities to work and look good. He needs the receivers to catch the ball. He needs people to block for him. He needs for the people to run routes, running back game. Most of these quarterbacks you see not having success ain't running the ball. But when you start to talk about this idea of what can change the thing, the pass rusher who doesn't need anybody. JJ Watt didn't need nobody to still perform, right? You didn't need TJ Watt didn't need nobody to perform. Lawrence Taylor didn't need nobody to perform, and they had huge impacts on the games. Every year you go through and you look at pass rushers, they are independent of themselves. They can impact a game. All I kept hearing all Super Bowl was Aaron Donald destroyed him by himself. Even though other people was around him, I just kept hearing Aaron Donald was the guy who was having strong impact. So for me, when it comes down to a person who does not need anything for it to be successful, I'm taking that over the guy who needs other things for them to be successful, i.e., the receivers, the blocking, the run game, and so forth. That's my view.
And on top of that, I mean, QBs, there's been so many QBs that have won the Super Bowl that you wouldn't even really think would. You got Joe Flacco and Nick Foles. It's not just the quarterback is not just the team. You need it all around. And what people don't realize about Goff was, look, in the end, he starting to gel way better. Once you got Reynolds, once you cut Lynn, I don't care about the Goff fired Lynn. No, Lynn was a terrible coordinator. I'm sorry. And once he started getting more comfortable, he looked like Alex Smith out there to me. He's serviceable. And I need a QB. and I don't see.
Do you think Jared Goff is going to take us to the Super Bowl anytime soon?
He's already been to a Super Bowl, so
He might not take us to the Super Bowl, but if he can take us to the playoffs or get us into a wild card game within his tenure of his contract, I think that's. I think then we'll know what we need to pick up. We'll know. Okay, we need a quarterback.
That's
Okay,
possible,
we paid you.
You already know that.
But also keep in mind, I'm not killing you for saying that, hey, you want the quarterback. I'm just saying that you also talking about having a turnaround. And if you got a guy who is sitting on a team that you say ain't ready to win no damn way, why are you taking that guy? Why not take a more polished player? Why not take a person like why are we taking the novelty guy because he can run? If you took Malik Willis, right? If you took Malik Willis and you put Malik Willis at Michigan, y'all will be want to set the goddamn quarterback on fire. And you know it. You know it. You would not want him there because he would be too inconsistent. And y'all have had the mobile court. Oh, shit. Adam finna cuss me out again. Okay. I'm bringing risky.
The whole thing is you building for the future.
What's up? Sorry, some technical issues right there.
It's all good.
It's what you're doing is building for the future, right?
Okay.
You take him, he's your future. Jared Goff is not. I don't care.
So you don't like a quarterback next year, Lion King? There's not a quarterback that jumps out to you next year? We can't just let Goff play out his contract?
So in other words, you want to take all that draft capital for next year then?
Well, why not focus on why not focus? This is a defensive strong draft class. Why not focus on the defense this year? And then next year's QB class.
Adam, did you change your damn name to draft a pass rusher?
Oh my god!
I'm not saying you Patty,
Adam,
but damn it, you Patty
right now. Dang it!
What, Adam? If y'all not sure who this beautiful man is right here, we're talking about Adam, who apparently changed his name to draft a damn pass rusher. Adam,
that's the goddamn truth.
I'm not going to argue it. I want George. I'm going to call him Kalarfagis because it's funny.
Adam, in all fairness, tell me why it has to be a pass rusher at 2. Why can't we take him at 32 or 34?
Boy, I'm off you, man.
You
take them both.
Take one at 32 and 34, but when you guys take
come on with it, Adam. I've been waiting on you all day.
If you take anything outside of a quarterback, a lineman to protect the quarterback, or a fucking guy to attack the quarterback, and number 2, it's a disaster. It just is. I mean, we have to understand expectations. Look, Kyle Hamilton's going to be a really good player in the NFL. So is Jamal Adams. That doesn't mean they're going to change your franchise. You need a game-wrecking edge rusher. You need a franchise quarterback. You need that Penei Sewell that we already have. So you don't
we need everything.
Well, just pretend
That's why.
Hold on, wait. Hold on, wait. Adam, let me ask you this: do you believe that game-wrecking, game-changing pass rusher is in this draft? And if so, who is it?
I think there are 3 players that you'd expect right out of the gate to do it. It's Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau, and I'm really starting to fall in love with Trey Walker. But those are the 3 that come into the league and get you 7.5 sacks to 10.5 sacks year 1 as a rookie.
I think Aiden Hutchinson is more of like a Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson kind of player. Kayvon Thibodeau is a little too raw for me, and I like George Karlaftis.
Yeah, but when we talk about players being raw, imagine being able to take any.
Yeah, but imagine Jadeveon Clowney. And also imagine that Kayvon Thibodeau does have some character issues as well.
But let me ask this. Let me ask this because I knew Adam was gonna say something. I knew it.
I can't even talk about the quarterback. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna kill Lion King when he talked that bullshit. Nobody fucking wants Jared Goff to take him to the Super Bowl. We just want the motherfucker to play good football until we draft a goddamn quarterback.
Right. That's it. But also, I think, like I said, for me, I'm just not at a point where I feel like this team is comfortable enough to make a luxury pick. That's a luxury pick to me. To take a player at 2 and sit. We're good enough to let a player sit for
Hell
you?
no.
Come on.
No.
You want to talk about a luxury pick, Funky? taking a fucking safety at number 2.
That's not fair. That's not fair, Adam.
No,
that's not
I wouldn't
fair.
call that luxury
No.
pick.
That's
Lions
second best
are
player
not
available.
ready for Kyle Hamilton the same way they
that
weren't
Kyle
ready
Hamilton
for
is
Marcus
best player
Williams.
available, man.
You don't have a pass rush.
No,
You've
Kuda
been
was a
bottom of
luxury
the
pick.
fucking league.
Hold on, fellas.
for
Hold on.
like 10 years in a row now.
Hold on, fellas.
Adam-
Hold on, fellas. So, Adam, let me indulge you. All right?
What up?
Safety at 2, you say it's a luxury pick, right? I'm an indulge. Let's say I agree with you, right?
All right.
Let's say I agree with you. And let's say hypothetically, Petrie comes off the board before we pick at 32. Brisker come off the board before we pick at 32.
Yep.
What we do at safety now?
No, I can make the same argument with Mafe. I can do that, especially with Ojabo now hurt. I can make that same argument, but you're likely going to be able to draft a Cameron Thomas at 34. He's 100% going to be available. I can make the
Why would
same
you want
argument
that, though?
for- You can take
Why would I
Nick
want
Ross
Jeff
in the third
Okuda at
round.
safety?
Yeah, but you look at safeties. 5
Why would I
of the
want
top 7
Jeff Okuda at
safeties in the
safety?
NFL were drafted in the second round or later. And if Brad Holmes has learned anything from his time in Los Angeles, it's how to get a goddamn safety in the later rounds.
All right, I got one more question for you, Adam.
Yeah, but you.
I got
also
one more
got
question for you,
punches
Adam.
in
Hold
the
on,
third.
Risky. This is my
Max
final
Crosby was
question.
fourth.
Adam,
Trey Henderson was
yes
the
or no? I'll let everybody else get their comment in with you because I know you came here to stir up the beehive. Okay, all right, all right.
Oh, I'm
and
ready.
now
Adam
Adam,
wants to grab cocaine.
I know, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Adam, do you trust Lions general manager Brad Holmes?
Oh yeah, I trust him. Look, if he takes Kyle Hamilton, look, we're talking about Brad Holmes here. This is the guy I've never had more confidence in a GM in my fucking life. I mean, this guy I'm gonna trust, but because I trust him, I know he's not gonna fuck me and take Kyle Hamilton at number 2.
Spoken like
All
a
right.
true politician.
I'll go down the list.
Adam,
I'll go
that's
down the
funny.
list. I'll go down the list. I'll go down the list and let y'all see the ask y'all questions. I know Adam is more than prepared for it. Rumble, what are your views? I mean, obviously, Lion King really started. Technically, Lion King started when he said take the quarterback at 2. Like this is really Lion King fault. But we gonna start off with you, Lions Rumble. What question you have for Adam? Adam has already killed the quarterback. He's killed the damn safety, and he hasn't answered my question on who's the goddamn stud player who's going to change it at the DM position. Drew noticed it. That's why he smiled, and then he just looked down in despair, like, "Damn it, Adam! Come on, give us one. Give us one." Rumble, what's your question for Adam?
Adam, I get it. You want to draft a pass rusher. I'm okay with that. But why wouldn't we draft? And we spoke on this earlier. Why wouldn't we draft a safety when we have those two DBs for coaches? You know, we know he has some holes in his game. He's a young safety. We only signed Tracy Walker to a 2-year deal. If next year we don't have any safeties to draft, or even this year we don't get the exact safety we want, why waste a draft pick?
Because nobody's winning games in the NFL because of their safety play. They're winning games in
Yeah,
the
but
NFL because they have
Adam,
a
I get
quarterback,
that.
they have an
Hold on,
offensive
hold on,
line, and a defensive line.
I get that, but also we do have a favorable schedule this year. So why can't we groom the men that we have on there and have them play up and down the line and find a stud
Rumble,
like we
what
did
you're
in
saying
Charles
makes
Harris last
total
year?
Sense. Yeah, what
Right.
you're saying makes total sense. I really don't have a problem with it, but I want you to. I'm going to counter your question with a question.
Okay, go for it.
If the Lions make the Super Bowl, is it going to be because of a dominant safety? It doesn't have to be Kyle Hamilton. Is it going to be because of a safety, or is it going to be because of great quarterback play and a dominant edge rush?
Okay, then
Neither.
so
It's a unit.
neither.
It's
So
a team.
so let's say we build something like the Legion of Boom. You know, let's say we build something like the Legion of Boom on
Different
defense.
NFL though, fair?
What's that?
Different NFL now.
Yes and no. Only because the quarterbacks are throwing way more now. You rarely have a 1,000-yard rusher, and in fact, when we do get 1,000-yard rushers, we celebrate them. Meanwhile, back in the day, we had 2,000-yard rushers. So it's to me, it's a quarterback friendly league. It's a quarterback. They throw the ball 60 times. I need somebody back there who's going to be able to knock the ball away or cause some havoc back there in that secondary. I can't.
The problem with that is we're seeing the best quarterbacks in the NFL outside of Aaron Rodgers because he's a motherfucker. But everyone else is throwing 12, 13, 14, 15 interceptions, and that's not killing these teams. Why? Because, like you said, they are throwing 40, 50, 60 times a game now. And interceptions are going to be a part of it. The difference maker is, do you have a guy that can get a quarterback on his ass? And that's the one thing that's never changed.
I saw a play. But here's the thing.
Go ahead, Risky.
Can I ask you a question? What is Aiden Hutchinson's flaw?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
He said, what is Aiden Hutchinson's flaw?
Aiden Hutchinson's what?
Flaw.
His flaw?
Yeah.
He don't have one.
Hutchinson's flaws are going to be... Oh, that's a good question. Holy shit.
No, it's not.
It's his flexibility. It's his
I can answer it for
ability
you.
to get leverage at the beginning.
Aiden Hutchinson's flaws are going to be, can he be more than just a pass rusher? Can he help support the run or the run stop?
He already does that.
Can he learn to identify play action, screen plays? That's going to be something he's just going to have to grow as any other rookie really would. But when we look at the most complete player in the draft, at the edge position, it has to be Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, but then what's Kyle Hamilton's flaw?
He plays safety.
Yeah, literally.
But if you're a general manager,
look, he's somebody that will struggle.
Would you bet your career on
that's somebody
a player
that
has no flaws versus a player that has flaws?
Kyle Hamilton has flaws. That's ridiculous. And I would rather bet my career on an edge rusher than a safety.
Now, I will say this, Risky, and again, I keep it fair. Kyle Hamilton does have flaws. One of my biggest gripes with Kyle Hamilton
He's not that fast. That's one of them.
But the speed part is not true. That's just not true.
Yeah, the speed thing's bullshit.
Yeah, that's not true. But my biggest flaw is there was times where Kyle Hamilton, I'm trying to make sure I don't word this in a way that makes it sound like I'm trying to kill him, but it's just the truth. There's been times where Kyle Hamilton just didn't wrap up on the tackle and the guy broke off of it. Or he hit him too high in an attempt to try to knock his head off and it wasn't effective. He's not a thumper. But he's a ball hawk, and that's really what I want him for. I want him to hunt for the ball, to do that. But his flaws is he also takes poor angles at times.
Luke, it's probably not the most fair example I'm about to give, but I just want to explain just how irrelevant ball hawks are in the NFL now.
Okay.
Trayvon Diggs got fucking torched all season in a pass-friendly league. And he's no shutdown corner. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
he had 11 interceptions, right? I think 11 was the number. The most 11 irrelevant interceptions to a team's success I've ever seen in my life, and that doesn't apply to Kyle Hamilton, and it doesn't have to apply to him. But you can look at Warrior's interceptions. What do you have? 6 this year? 7?
He was better. He was much better.
That was really
and you can make a case that his interceptions actually had more value. So it's not necessarily you want a guy that's just going to get you a ton of interceptions. Stephon Gilmore won Defensive Player of the Year with 4 or 5 interceptions. Can you make a significant impact on the game of football? And at the safety position, we haven't seen somebody really do that in this version of the NFL.
Yeah.
Can Kyle Hamilton be that guy? Fuck it. But if you want to take that chance, good luck.
Now, I put it like this. To be fair, I think that assessment is not fair because if the Cowboys actually score on them damn turnovers, it makes a difference. It's not their fault that they can't score on them turnovers. However, comparing the corner to a safety is different. And I'm not saying to defend it. Again, I pray that the Lions take whoever it is that you want as a fan base. But I also pray that you do not change your profile photo. I pray that you don't change your name. I pray that you keep that same energy when it don't work. All the people who lit me up for my Okuda video, I can't find them. I'm still trying to search for them. They are missing. They on the milk carton, bro. All the people who lit me up.
I think it takes an idiot to sit up there and say that Kyle Hamilton isn't going to work in the NFL or that he's not as good of a player as he seems. He's going to be a damn good player. I don't think that's the issue. The problem is Is he the right player? Is he the right pick? And that's where I struggle the most, because you guys do make good cases that, hey, look, they're a clear top number 1 edge rusher in this draft. Look, outside of Aiden, I think it's a toss-up. Like, do you prefer Kayvon Thibodeau over a Trayvon Walker, over a George, the kid from Purdue? I don't know what the fuck to say his last name. It's so shitty.
But I do have a question. This is a 3-way question between Luke, Lion King, and Adam, actually. And see if you can answer me on this one. But we keep bringing up, because Lion King bringing up the quarterback, and I wanted to go back to that. And here's the thing that I'm wondering here is, why are you so down on Goff when he's already been proven to win multiple playoff games, take you to a Super Bowl? On top of that, showed he was actually much better under Lynn, took you on the Cardinals, and he's the only QB the Lions have had that actually beat multiple 10-win teams. Stafford couldn't even do that. So
trash ass.
Stafford won a Super Bowl.
I'm not down on Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a very good quarterback. He's an average quarterback. But
average sometimes wins too.
Adam, I got one question for you. If we had the 85 Bears with Wilbur Marshall and Richard Dent, will we go to the Super Bowl this year?
No.
I don't get the fucking question.
So what he's saying is this. He's saying you can have the most prolific defense in NFL history.
Right.
He wants to know, if you have the most prolific defense in NFL history, would this team go to the Super Bowl this year?
No, because the NFL changed.
That's right.
If I took the Rams offense and put it in 1970, I'd win fucking 10 Super Bowls.
Hey,
like,
Rams
it's not fair.
For that
it's not fair. Defense isn't as important. Like, we grew up with Brian Urlacher, Zach Thomas, Ray Lewis being the heart of defenses, being the reason why their teams won games. That shit doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately.
Drew,
now it's about the pass rush.
What we're doing is we're building around Jared Goff instead of building a team. To me, that's what we're doing.
No, they're building a team,
we're
not around
Jared Goff.
They're building a football team. Because our mistake with Matthew Stafford all those years was, out of the 12 years he was in Detroit, only one of them did we actually have a decent fucking roster. And now we actually are operating the correct way. We're building a team. That way, when you do draft a rookie, Lion King, he comes into a comfortable situation, a situation where he doesn't have to do everything right away. He has a head coach that protects him. He has a defense. He has an offense. That's the game plan, in my opinion.
Now, Adam, I'm gonna give Drew a chance, because Drew is hands down on board. He needs a pass rusher. It's so bad for him. He would take a guy that he know has motor issues, clearly don't have a pass rush move,
don't
misrepresent
me. Don't misrepresent me.
But I'll let Drew talk to you for a minute, Adam.
First of all, I'm the only one on this podcast right now that can pronounce Karl Loftus.
I mean, that's true. This is true.
When he said, no, I can say Karl Loftus.
There we go. Gunner's up there.
Yeah,
I would go fuck himself.
No, he's the best DN in this draft, bro. He's the best.
Yes.
The only thing I will say about to Adam is that I have agreed with every single thing that he has said since he has joined, and thank you, because he's making all of the points that I would have tried to make much more succinctly.
No, listen, Adam tells you all the time that I'm batshit crazy. So, like he'll say, Luke, I love you, but you're fucking crazy. It is what it is. Yeah. But the reality is we still get a chance to see how this pans out, which one of these two views age well. And that's the beauty of this. That's the beauty of what I do. I'm
Luke,
open.
Can we agree, though? Can we agree? Because I'm not a fan of doing once it pans out, then I'll talk my shit. But I think it's really important. And I think I asked this last time. It's more of a sin to bust and miss on a pass rusher at number 2, or excuse me. It's more of a sin and unacceptable to miss on a safety at number 2 overall in a draft than to miss on an edge rusher. Yeah. Because it makes sense to take the edge rusher, obviously, for positional value. I can talk for 5 minutes on this, but I'm not going to do that. But the point, I think at the end of the day, no matter who they take, it's Brad Holmes making the decision. I'm sure that makes everybody feel a lot better. I know it does for me. And look, if it is Kyle Hamilton, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to contemplate putting a fucking bullet in my head. But I'm going to give Brad Holmes a chance because he's all I got left. Because I swear I don't think I can handle another fucking rebuild.
You're in radio. You have no choice. You're coming down with us. If we're sinking, you're sinking with us, fucker.
Adam, listen. First of all, you talented, you driving, and you still able to do the show. So I'm having so much fun with this part of it. I think it's worse. It's more detrimental to a team to have the DN bust, because I remember the Courtney Browns. I remember I'm drawing a blank on the damn dude name.
I know where you're going with this because you feel like you can transition the safety into a different position, but
no. I'm not even saying that. What I'm saying is when you look at the DN busting, right? Like when a DN is just like bust, you lose so much more. You can't trade this motherfucker. You can't ask him to do anything. He's useless. He's literally just there. He's like a lily pad on the pond. It's only good for people to sit on shit and jump off. It's nothing you can do if that happens.
That's any bust in the top five.
Let's say I agree with that and I give you that, Luke. Well, would you be more upset if they've busted on a safety or an edge rusher? And I think the answer is clearly a safety, because you're going to be the first team in NFL history to take a fucking safety at number 2. And then
no, we'll be one of many. It's another thing I want to point out too, Adam, because I think somebody did it at 91, I want to say it was. But this is another thing. We have for so long followed universal trends and patterns blindly for no reason. And we don't know why we keep trying to copycat. We tried doing things.
We took Keith Barber in the fucking second round and fucking Jelani Tavai, who nobody even had on their draft board. I'm just saying. But when you look at it, it doesn't make sense to take a guy like that and be like, hey, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I don't see a reason to do that. I don't see a reason to.
And let's hope Brad Holmes makes the Lions way no longer a punchline to every fucking joke of the last 20 years I've been a fan.
That's your SNL one more time. I'm going to put a bullet in my head.
But go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, my question. Let's say you take Tom. Let's say he's everything you say he is. Against, I would say, a Pro Bowl level quarterback. That opposing team that you're playing drops back 50 times. How many times do you think Kyle Hamilton's getting beat?
How many times I think Kyle Hamilton's going to be what now?
Beat.
How many times do you think he's going to get beat in coverage? How often?
Out of 50 times at safety?
Yeah.
Well, at that point, we hoping to God that they're not even that close to him, right? I get what you said about the pass rush not being there.
He's like your last line of defense. The last guy making impact theoretically most of the time. Not all the time. You're going to line him up
necessarily,
in the box,
though.
But
yeah, but what if Kayvon and Hutch both bust and Kyle actually is the one that's actually good? Then are you mad?
Or then that's just a circuit. I mean,
we're kind of like playing the what if game. I don't know. Like I'd be more comfortable if they took a pass rusher and he missed than if they took Hamilton.
Now, even if
Hamilton hits, there's nobody getting pressure on the quarterback.
Well, I can tell you this much. This is the thing that we have to also take into account and be fair about, right? And again, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not even telling Drew that he's wrong. I just told Drew, look, if you take an Aiden Hutchinson, fine, right? Fine. I didn't care. Kayvon Thibodeau, I'm setting the world on fire, right? I'm like cool.
I mean, case in point, Luke was just showing us videos of our pass rush actually going up against Lamar Jackson and actually getting to him. Our pass rush ain't the worst in the world.
Yeah, but the Ravens' offensive line last year was absolutely decimated.
Yeah, but you know the difference, though? He's faster than every player on our damn team. And he could not go anywhere because they designed it up in a way to bottle him up. And that's the important part of it. The defensive pressures and stuff come as a unit, not a player. And there isn't one player. If Ndamukong Suh was coming out of college in this draft and he's going to be there at 2, I would tell everybody, take Suh, right? But if you're telling me that right now my options are Aiden Hutchinson, who I don't think you're going to get because Jacksonville takes him, and the other one is Kayvon Thibodeau or Hamilton, well, I'm done talking about it. It's a simple pick for me. Even you got to admit to that, Adam.
I think it's fair.
Adam just want to talk shit. Adam,
I gotta go though. I gotta go. I just
first of all, shout out to you, sir. Good work this morning.
Yes. Take
you
care, Adam.
You gave me something to look forward to. And be safe out there, man. Drew, Adam was on your side.
I think it's fair. More fair to say that I was on his.
Hold on, Chris. Hold on. Look, Drew. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I don't want people to get this wrong. I'm not saying that you're wrong, right? The only pick that I said, let me challenge him on was what? Kayvon Thibodeau.
Right.
I have not killed you. I said, if you want Hutchinson while he's there, take him. The thing that we're going to always do as Lions fans and as any fan is we're going to compare to who we could have had. We took Eric Ebron over Aaron Donald.
Yep.
I think
that the year that they drafted, that was also the same year that they wasn't DeMarcus Lawrence the pick right after to Dallas at 11.
Yeah, that was Aaron Donald.
No, he was at 13.
No, he was 13.
He took Akuda over who again?
Taylor Wan was the pick after.
Oh, was it?
I think DeMarcus Lawrence was a second round pick in that draft. I was looking at it the other day.
Well, I got to go back. I try to
remember. Green Bay got Corey Linsley in the 5th round. I was pissed.
All right, but I'm just saying. Go ahead. Finish your point, Drew. I want to make sure everybody get their point across.
I don't know. I just feel like the Lions, I've been watching the draft now for 25 years, and I just feel like the Lions have always not been in an optimal position where their pick met aligned with the kind of talent that was available that they needed. And the last couple of years, it's Jacksonville that's been messing shit up for us. And I'm I hear what you guys are saying about Hamilton, and if Brad Holmes drafts Hamilton, I'm going to be okay with it because I'll be interested to see if you can build back to front. But that was what Patricia and Quin were trying to do, and
no, that wasn't what they were trying to do.
All right.
No,
but
they panicked. They panicked in a year they knew they were going to get fired and took a cornerback. They lost Darius Slay. They was not trying to build it because you remember they first picks early on were offensive and defensive line people and stuff like that.
Well, I did want to touch on a couple of things that you guys said.
Go ahead.
I'm not a fan of drafting a quarterback in this class because I would rather go all in for a CJ Stroud or a Bryce Young or even a Spencer Rattler if he turns it around. Who knows? Who's going to pop next year? I would rather invest draft capital in that selection than I would in any quarterback in this particular class. And I don't care that Jared Goff made a Super Bowl. He's played worse every year since. He's never approached that level again. And he is the 6th or 7th highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And those things, when you have declining play with increasing cost, you got to go.
I mean, still be a 10-win team with Stafford.
I don't care about that. The team that I was rooting for won 3 games. So,
right, but I get. To be fair, I get what Drew's saying because I'm telling you right now, I've waved the white flag on him. On Goff because I'm telling you, I did not buy for one moment that he was being told to throw the ball 2-3 yards down the field. I don't buy that. What are they gonna do if he threw the ball further than 2 or 3 yards down the field? What are they gonna do? Oh, you're fired? I mean, really, what the hell can they do?
I mean, I agree. Lynn was gone.
But the difference wasn't when Lynn left. The difference was when they committed to the run. That was the difference. When they took the ball out of the hand of the quarterback and committed to the run, you saw a difference in the quarterback. Because you know what? Now when he do a play action, you got to respect it.
Right.
You have to.
To be fair, Luke, you've been saying it for how many years? Just run the damn ball.
Listen, run the damn ball is important. Now, shout out to my man, Psycho Lions fan, who says, question, if both edge or safety at 2 are dominant, who would you rather have?
Edge.
I would rather have the edge rusher. However,
we just signed Mike Hughes.
What?
I'm reading it on Twitter now. We signed cornerback Mike Hughes to a 1-year deal, $3.5 million.
Ooh. Oh, that camp body. 1 point what?
3.5.
3.5 million.
Yes.
For Mike Hughes?
Yes.
You know what? I ain't even gonna kill him for it. Akuda gonna be hurt by week 2 any damn way. It's cool.
Probably. we need the body.
I have a question on Akuda. If he doesn't play 12, 13 games this year and look good, you can't pick up his 5th-year option.
He's had a pretty good year this year.
No.
Well, I take it back. You can pick up his 5th-year
I just want him to play 12 games.
If you're willing to get him to switch positions. I think I've been saying this from the day one. Okuda's a safety. He does not have the skill set, in my opinion, to play the cornerback position. And you see it week in and week out where they just doing him dirty. Left to right. The route run is too much for him. He cannot shift his hips and keep up with it. But in a safety position, like I'm telling you right now, if you were to tell me right now that they were going to take Aiden Hutchinson and move Okuda to safety, cha-ching, problem solved. I ain't mad at you.
With that.
Yep.
I ain't mad at you.
Yep. And remember, them hips don't lie.
So
Shakira reference. You don't see that every
I know,
day.
right? I know, right? But again, we've been on for 2 hours and 30 minutes. I like to give everybody opportunity to say they final thoughts before we go into the end of the show. But yes, to answer your question, I would take the edge. They both are dominant. It's just that in this particular draft, I don't think there's a dominant edge rusher at all. I do not see that guy. I wish he was in this draft, but he's not. He's not there, and I don't see it. So starting off with my man's Lion King, what are your final thoughts for the people? You came in here and started the whole damn fight over quarterback. Rich, where the hell did wait a minute, who just left?
That was
Drew. No, Drew, you gotta give us a final thought.
Drew, you gotta give us your final
Drew,
thought, man.
You gotta give us a final thought, bro.
Come back.
All right, we're gonna go with you, Lion King. Give me your final thoughts for the show.
My final thought is BPA. You know what that means?
Best player available.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I love you, Lion King.
So wrong. Not the same as my thoughts.
He said best player available. Next up, we got my man Ghost Gunner. Give the people your final thoughts for the day. And Drew, get back in here. You got to give us something. Just give us your final thoughts for the day.
I want to go back on who would you rather bust or who would you rather not bust a safety or edge. To me, it don't matter. If you pick a bad player too, that's a bad player too. It don't matter what position they play.
Exactly.
That's a useless player. That's a useless pick.
Yeah.
So let's just hope no matter who they pick, they turn out to be great.
But I ain't mad at
what we gonna be expecting when we
I
take
ain't
these
mad
Go
at
ahead,
overall.
Gunner. Talk your
my man Crimson Shadow, sir. Appreciate you for coming through, and everybody else who came through. But give me your final thoughts, Crimson. Drew, get back in here. We need that final thought.
Exactly, Drew. We need to know what you're thinking. But like I've said in this entire draft, it's a combination between what Gunner and Lion King said. It's best player available. I don't care on who's a bust. If you're a bust, you're a bust. It doesn't make a difference to me. Yes, I would like to go George because I think he's the most polished edge rusher out of the class. I don't think they're going to go for him. Yeah, he is 10th ranked, but I think he's much better than what the rankings show. So really for me, I'm taking best player available. And if anyone's going to bring up Okuda, he was not the best player available. I'm sorry. Luke's already proven that he was not. And Kyle Hamilton is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the reality, you know. It's just the reality of it. My man's Lions Rumble, my co-host, give us your final thoughts, sir.
Oh man, I agree with what everybody's been saying. BPA, yeah, of course, but I also that's my fantasy pick right there would be Kyle Hamilton, only because we do have those two DB specialists who not only reinvigorated Charles Harris's career and made him a local legend, so to speak. Helped him transition into something that was that the Arizona Cardinals have to game plan against this year if we do play them. But I love Kyle Hamilton. I think he has more upside than a lot of people give him credit for. And we still have yet to see his pro day. Now, if we go Hutch, I'm cool with that as well. You know, either way, I want those guys that we draft super high. They have to play day one. I don't want any more projects. You're going out there day one. Day one, you're going to show me what you got. I'm so tired of these projects where we're just wasting draft picks on players we've never heard of or players who aren't going to make an immediate impact. So that's my final thought. Let's see how this plays out.
Blue and Silver says if they wanted safety so bad, then they would have signed Marcus Williams. But you got to keep in mind. You got to keep in mind
all of that draft. All of that cap space.
But you got to look at the part. Look what he got paid,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. And why would I spend that money if I can just get somebody similar to him? It's going to be cheaper. So I think you have more options. That's what you see now. But it's a point that I can't argue. I think it's a fair point to have. Anthony, my roar of the UK family says Hamilton is best player available. I ain't mad at you. And the Go Lion says, Luke seriously just made lemon pepper. Ooh, sockeye salmon over white rice. With the steamed mixed vegetables and the Hawaiian rolls. Yeah, definitely no damn squirrel. Ain't nobody that nobody should eat no damn squirrel. What is that?
Invite me for dinner. Ooh, that's nice.
This is the Blue Seven says, you said there's no way they would draft safety, period. Who said that?
What do you mean, just at 2? I mean, if he means by 2, I mean,
He says no. I think he says if we did pick up Marcus Williams.
Right. If right. I said if they picked up Marcus Williams, there's no way we're taking a safety, because at that point you would have already paid for Tracy Walker, then you would have paid for Marcus Williams. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we did pick this Marcus Williams.
And my guest who came in early and hit me up and was like, let's get this thing done, my man Risky, who I hope does not be a stranger. What are your final thoughts for the show?
Yeah, my final thoughts are that, the Lions just need to get the players that are going to get this team ready for 2023 and beyond. I think if we go into next year with just maybe 2 to 3 needs on both sides of the ball, that's a pretty good position to be in, because we have the picks and we have the cap space to get the players that can get it to level. And so I think that's what this draft is. Best player available is, of course, what we want. I mean, there isn't really a position on this team except for, the obvious that the Lions can't go in.
Now, this is one of the things where I get excited because I love doing the final thought. Drew was a new subscriber. I'm glad he's here. I hope he come back on. He was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
he articulated he articulated his point. He had fun with me. He had fun with Adam. I don't think I ever seen somebody co-sign so hard. So when he said he wanted a pass rusher, he wanted, and I believe it, and I think that's cool. Yeah. To all the people who came on, rock with me, all the people who came in the chat, the lovers, the haters, it's all good. Appreciate y'all all coming there. It says no way the Lions draft a safety at 2, period. Oh, he said there's no way they do it. I mean, if they don't, they don't. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you that based on what they said, my early prediction, I put it out there, is what it is. Drew, well, look, Drew, I know you had to jump out, but if you could come back in and give a final thought, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Got to record a podcast at 8. Yeah, we'll take care of that.
All right, Drew.
And also, really quick, post the link for the podcast in here if you can, so we can know where to come listen to you at, Drew. So definitely post the link if you got a time to post it in here. Post it in here. Y'all know me. I cannot end a show unless I end a show on a positive note. Today's positive quote comes from the internet because I have no clue. Wait, he came back. Y'all don't know about the man, the myth, and the legend until he shows up with that beautiful beard. Drew, tell the people where they can find your podcast at and how they can connect to it, and a little bit about what you're doing over there, and also give them your final thoughts for the show.
Well, let me do the show first because I just had I got to say I was a little skeptical because Don and I have gone back and forth a couple of times on some other platforms, and I was like, if this guy likes it, that might mean that I'm not a fan.
I'm fair.
Based on our track record, that would be a real solid probability. So,
but I'm fair.
No, I loved it, to be honest. Like,
thank you so much.
The number one thing that I like about it is let's not just argue. Let's learn something.
Yep.
You won me over with that. I'm a fan. I'd love to come back. Yeah.
Listen, I gotta have you back.
Oh, for sure.
One, you came in ready to rock and roll. You was open. I'm like, look, that's the whole purpose of what I do. It's the field review for a reason. And Rumble was a subscriber. He's now co-host with me. William Birch was a subscriber. He co-hosts with Risky. It's also been on here with me, co-host. Everybody you see on here has been on here before with me, and they're all subscribers. It's open to y'all. Like I said, you can come in here and tell me I'm crazy. I'm cool with that, right? Tell me why. That's it. Tell me why. Give me some reasons why. And Adam always thinks I'm batshit crazy, right? He always says, like, do you have the most strange takes? But it's just the reality. And so I try my best to leave it open and have fun, man. I start the show off every single show with a suicide message because I lost my best friend to suicide last year. So I started off with and I ended on a positive note every single time.
Great. That's awesome.
Every time. So give the people your final thought. You give them whatever your thoughts are. If that was your final thought that you gave me, I salute to you, sir, so much. But you got to tell them what the podcast is so we can get into the podcast.
I wish it was a football podcast, but it's not. So
It doesn't matter. What is it?
Yeah. So I have a podcast with a friend of mine who lives out in LA now. We call it Mediocre Conversations.
That's a dope name.
We're we don't know much about anything, but we like to talk to each other. So
that's a dope.
Yeah, so it's called Mediocre Conversations with Tom and Drew, and you can find it on Spotify, Apple, and Anchor.
Next time you come on, if you're on Twitter, hit me up on Twitter.
Okay,
I'll link it on my videos going forward. That way they'll be able to find you, and we get traffic going to you, and people can decide for themselves. You know,
I love that.
I support it. I support it all. Shout out to my man L. Smith 11 who says Texans fan in the building. What up, though, Lions fan? Salute to you.
What's up?
We are in the same spot.
Yeah. How do you feel about Mills? Do you think he's your franchise QB?
He is not.
Probably not, but you never know from the Texans fans' perspective.
I mean, they're probably happy to root for him right now compared to what they had come out about Watson.
Yeah, fair enough there.
He's a palate cleanser.
It says, listen, he says, not good. Texans get great players only to let them go. Trust me, as a Lions fan, we know that feeling way too often.
I just felt the knife just go.
I know, right?
All
right,
I thought we
people.
talk about the Lions for a minute.
Yeah, so again, as y'all heard already, Drew, give it to them one more time, how to find the podcast and what it's called.
So it's called Mediocre Conversations with Tom and Drew, and it's on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
All right. And again, I don't end a show unless it's on a positive note. And today's positive quote comes from the internet because I do not know who wrote this, but I thought it was beautiful. It says, you cannot live a positive life with a negative mind. I'll repeat that again. You cannot live a positive life with a negative mind. Sometimes you find yourself in positions to just simply challenge yourself. And it's only when you are in doubt that you decide to challenge yourself. But I'm going to give you a different challenge today because it's too hard to live in this world and try to live a good life with a negative mind. How about you find some way to do something, move forward, to lift yourself up and be something positive? How about you tell yourself that what you can do versus what you can't? Every time you think you missed a deadline, it does not mean that you have failed. It simply means you had a setback. Perspective changes views. But if you live this world, if you live this life long enough, and if you find yourself in positions where you're constantly trying to live a positive life with a negative mind, you will find yourself in turmoil. And there's no reason to put yourself in that position because you're awesome. You are great. All the things you thought you could not do, you can. You just didn't realize it yet. Every time you thought you was willing to give up, you found a way to push through it. And when the storm came, as it always does, like the palm trees, you leaned over just a little bit to stand straight back up and to tell the world, I'm still here. Find a way to not only live a positive life, but to live a positive mind. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't do nothing else, please do your research. We are out. Thank you so much.